that I put out these allegations, that has got to change when it comes to that in the National Football League.
Curt Flood, legally unsuccessful, but it galvanized players and free agency ultimately came about. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. It's Wednesday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day, just like with Curt Flood. In the 60s, there's the ultimate real-world changes and the lawsuit itself. ESPN legal analyst Ryan Smith is here this morning, 8:45 Eastern with Key, Jay, and Max. They're next. I'm Jay Reynolds. It's ESPN Radio.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max starts next at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need. Indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
CSX, a growing Fortune 500 logistics company, has immediate openings for freight train conductors. If you're looking for a rewarding career offering paid training at nearly $25 per hour, competitive benefits, and you share a passion for great service, apply today at csx.com/careers. That's csx.com/careers. CSX, committed to supporting military and veteran families and their communities. CSX is an equal opportunity employer.
The big game is almost here, and that means the Unibet Big Game Booyah Boost is on.
Booyah!
Get a 100% profit boost on single game parlays.
Profit boost, booyah!
Build your best big game parlay and boost it big time.
Big time, booyah!
Sign up to get $500 risk-free.
Get all the booyahs!
Download the Unibet PA app or visit pa.unibet.com. Unibet, crazy about the odds.
Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What is hope? Hope to me was just that he would get to come home. I had no idea how hard it would be once he got back.
I wish she'd stop drinking so much. She thinks it's helping, but it's not. I hope she sees that soon.
I act like I don't care if he comes to my games, but I hope he does.
I used to hope he'd find happiness again. Now I hope our marriage makes it.
I hope Grandpa will get help. He thinks it's too late, but it's not.
With everything that he's going through, I hope he sees a counselor. I just want my brother back.
I hoped he'd get help. Stop hoping things would get better on their own. He told me to stop asking. I didn't. Then one day he asked for a ride.
Hope is knowing there are other families just like yours, that the veterans they love got help and recovered. Go to maketheconnection.net and turn hope into action.
All the action on the ice giving you the chills? Break away to the hottest game in town, Delilah's. Let the world's most beautiful showgirls warm you up as you claim the game on Delilah's giant video walls. Or skate in after the game. Your ticket stub gives you free admission. Ready for a real power play? Come to Delilah's, voted America's #1 gentleman's club. Just off Delaware Avenue and just out of this world. Delilah's, where body checking is a way of life. Details now at delilahs.com.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of different types of heart disease, like AFib, which is a type of irregular heartbeat. It affects both women and men, but women with AFib have a higher risk of stroke and death than men. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. Diet and exercise are key to staying healthy. Know the risks. Women Heart does something really unique, solely focusing on women and providing peer-to-peer support. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball and Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
We are with you, getting your day started halfway through the week. They call this, what do they call this, Pat?
Hump day.
Hump day?
Hump it up.
Thought you were going to do hump.
It's Bob's favorite day. He loves to hump.
Bob loves hump day?
Beg your pardon? You heard me correctly. You love to hump. It's hump day.
Okay.
Now I got inundated with pictures of that dessert from the Wells Fargo Center, Pat.
Oh, the what is it called?
Toothsome?
Toothsome, yeah.
Wow.
Look, if you guys want, I'll go. I'll sacrifice my body and health for the betterment of the show, and I'll try them out.
I'll tell you what, Connor, I think, has an extra ticket tonight to go down there, so I think maybe you should jump on along with him and give us a review tomorrow.
I think me and Connor's relationship kind of stops at the door.
After work at 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock?
We're kind of like work friends. We're not really.
Oh, no? You wouldn't hang out?
No.
I'm going down tonight, but I will never. I couldn't imagine eating. But I'm not an ice cream guy. So
yeah, see, I am.
But it looks
kind of an ice cream connoisseur.
It looks like something you wouldn't eat at a game.
I mean,
it looks complex to eat. Looks like a big mess.
You got a straw. You got a thing.
You got to maneuver like big chunky food out that's immersed in ice cream and.
Have you seen Pat handle a sundae before?
Yeah,
I don't think you have to worry about him.
Johnny, it's not my first rodeo. I've been there. I've done that.
I saw him eat one at 7:30 in the morning or whatever it was in Vegas.
Okay, well, first of all, it's really 10:30 our time.
I got you.
So it's a little bit different.
You'd been up for hours.
Yeah.
We had been.
I woke you up. Remember, I came over.
We had been in Vegas for like 3-4 days, so it wasn't 10:30. Your body wasn't saying it was 10:30 by that time.
I don't know what you want from me, man. I like ice cream.
I know you do. Hey, the tradition of Groundhog Day started in Europe as Candlemas Day. Clergy would bless and distribute candles that were needed for winter, which represented how long the winter would be. Coach wanting to share that information with us. Remember, if you believe in such, sort of deviltry, in Groundhog Day folklore, if the groundhog emerges from his burrow and sees his shadow, it's a sunny morning. Winter will last another 6 weeks. If the groundhog does not see his shadow, a cloudy morning, then spring will arrive early.
Coach knows stuff.
I don't know why you're questioning the groundhog.
Because the groundhog's wrong all the time.
But
Adam Joseph does not like the groundhog, and
he steals his shine on it.
They did point out on the news last night
little Phil.
If you go by the Farmer's Almanac, the Farmer's Almanac is like twice as accurate, really accurate compared to this groundhog. But the thing is, the groundhog doesn't see a shadow.
Hey, you needed somebody to tell you that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's a really good point.
No, because I never believed in I always heard about the Farmer's Almanac. I honestly have never read it, looked at it, or otherwise. Keep on scratching. There you go. There's Punxsutawney. Punxsutawney has like a very sort of South Philly sort of Jersey twang to him.
But this thing that Coach wrote up here, winter will last another 6 weeks if he sees his shadow. That's the best case scenario as it is. And then it goes on to say if he does not see his shadow, spring
comes early.
Spring will arrive early.
That's the best case scenario.
But it's not going to be earlier than 6 weeks. It's kind of redundant.
No, spring comes early, meaning that you don't have 6 more weeks of winter. Spring will arrive before 6 weeks.
No, that's not possible.
You don't believe that?
In February, basically? No.
That's what they say.
That's ridiculous.
Like warmer weather, who knows?
It's ridiculous. I love how we're breaking down.
You and Adam Joseph are on the same page. Adam is anti-groundhog.
6 weeks is our best case scenario.
I would say it's a best case scenario also.
Ridiculous.
Because Bob was married in one of the biggest blizzards of my lifetime in mid-March.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day weekend,
What did Punxsutawney say that weekend?
Yeah, seriously.
Me neither.
Hey, Bradford White water heaters are here for the pro. Bradford White sponsors your 6 a.m. hour of the John Kincade Show. We've got a couple big stories to get to today, but the first one is I just, and I'll be real interested. Ramona Shelburne, who I really respect, love her a lot. She's been always good whenever I've asked her to do stuff. I did reach out yesterday through ESPN PR to see if she'd come on and speak about it, because I am convinced she either believes in fairy tales on this story or she got used. I know sometimes you have to pander and craft a story in order to get it from the source, But what I read yesterday was a fairy tale, a story crafted of victimhood, a delusional tale of a man who refuses to take any responsibility for his actions. Everyone else is wrong. He's misunderstood. And that piece, in my opinion, was written with a very, very sympathetic tone. He just needs a fresh start. People don't understand me. Ben Simmons has went on the offensive again. He also has well-connected enablers that are helping him peddle this garbage. Problem is that piece of fiction yesterday, I believe, hurt the 76ers. Because I think it makes Ben look crazy. It makes him look irrational. It makes him look like, honestly, like a man-child. And if it makes him look that bad in print, you don't think that makes him look like a bad teammate, too? With what the Sixers are doing and how they're trying to overcome not having him? Who wants to add that player that wanted themselves to be publicly depicted like that? That was their agenda. Find a member of the media that would write that piece, that would take that story and run with it. And who wants to be depicted like that? Did anybody read that piece yesterday and, one, feel sympathy for Ben Simmons, two, understand his point of view? I think it makes him look bad. And I think it'd be humorous if it wasn't so pathetic. But in the long run, I think Ramona Shelburne's piece yesterday hurt the 76ers. Not only the brand of Ben Simmons, which I think it was being, I don't think anybody was saying, man, now I understand where Ben's coming from.
Huh.
I think it hurts the Sixers.
Your take kind of confuses me.
Yeah. Why is that?
I think Ben Simmons came off looking pathetic.
So do I.
I don't think Ramona necessarily believed anything. She's just reporting what was told to her. And what's told to her was a story that I guess they thought would garner some sympathy for him.
Yeah, they did. That's why they peddled the story. By the way,
I don't think Ramona is sympathetic towards him. I think
she doesn't have to believe what she writes.
Yeah,
I think she's saying what she was told. She wrote a story of what she was told,
and she can also then find other people to get contrary points of view to add to that story.
Who has it?
But anybody would have it.
She might.
No, they wouldn't.
She might be writing this going, this guy looks like an absolute lunatic. I'm going to put it out because it's going to get a lot of eyes on it.
Oh, I believe that's what it was.
This is the Simmons camp and Clutch camp painting to Ramona their side of the story. And for some reason, they thought this would fall on ears that would paint him in a sympathetic light. I think it did the exact opposite. I think,
which hurts the 76ers.
I mean, that might ultimately.
Well, that's my entire point.
But I don't think Ramona is sympathetic towards him. I think it's a pathetic piece. If that was written about me,
on that we agree.
I
on that we completely agree.
Bury myself in a hole.
Why would you want
pathetic?
Why would you want to be depicted like that?
I don't know.
But why wouldn't you write it? I mean, your first thing was she believes in fairy tales. They came to her and said, look, we have a story to tell. She said, sure. And they give her all this stuff. If I'm a writer, if I'm Ramona Shelburne or back in my old day, I'd be like, oh, my God, this is gold. Are you kidding me? Are they really believing this? Of course I'm going to write it. I want people to see how they feel they've been depicted. So I write that story. She did get in touch with Sixers sources that basically didn't. I think that she went to Sixers sources, and they were like, really? That's what they said? And there are some quotes from sources on the Sixers side. But, yeah, Clutch Sports went to her and said, look, we've been wrong. Let us tell you about it. And she said, okay. And her job as a journalist was, okay, I'll put this out there. I don't think she believes in fairy tales at all. She very well could have gone back to her room and her office and wrote this and said, these guys are bleeping nuts.
Now, if you I don't know if you believe the NBA folks who cover there's this story, according to the Malika Andrews show yesterday, was being peddled. So, Bob, what does peddled mean?
They had a story to tell. Clutch Sports said that they had a story to tell.
They wanted somebody to write it. That tells me that other people said, I'm not going to be your mouthpiece.
I don't know that to be true at all.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
They meant Ramona Shelburne might be the person that they deal with. Look, as Bob Cooney is the beat writer for the Philadelphia 76ers, if they had a story to tell, they could go to me or they could go to Keith Pompey when he was covering for the Enquirer and tell their story. Ramona Shelburne is the person who has been covering Ben Simmons throughout this whole saga. They had a story to tell. They went to her. She wrote it.
Then the peddled just seems strange. And that's the word that was used yesterday on ESPN, that they were peddling this story, and Ramona wrote it.
That, to me, just
Means that they're saying, hey, we have a story there. Who wants to write it?
They rang the dinner bell, and Ramona said, yeah, I'll take that.
And she's the one to write it.
Because you sound like lunatics.
Yes, and it is lunatics. Let's get to the point of what I talked about, though. The point is that I think it hurts the Sixers because I think Ben Simmons' brand took a major hit yesterday. Well, he was being mocked. He was being mocked by NBA players on SportsCenter, on the ESPN shows, He's being mocked now.
That's their goal, right? Is to make this as uncomfortable as possible and force their way out of here. And now he's hurting their hand. And look, if the unvaccinated thing is true, I don't know if he's anti-vax or pro-vax or whatever, but it's probably done to make this situation even more difficult. Everything they're doing is just to poke and prod and make it more difficult for the Sixers. So I don't think they give a damn if they hurt the Sixers' asset.
But they're hurting their asset.
But he's going to end up somewhere eventually sometime.
Who wants this?
It's the weirdest case.
Who wants it on their team? That's what I'm saying. Is that
somebody
I think it hurts. Jamie, his stock is less than it was.
Oh, I agree.
6 months ago.
But that's their goal.
Yeah, and with the Sixers sitting back and really not doing anything and kind of not commenting on it, and early on saying, look, we want him here, but he's not coming here. Look, it's going to hurt them on the basketball court, and we've said that from day one. But I don't think it hurts the Sixers organization as far as reputation or anything like that. They're just sitting back and saying, okay, look, you guys can all see what an idiot this whole – or I shouldn't say idiot. You can see how idiotic. I couldn't get the word. This whole situation is. It's going to hurt them on the court if they don't get fair value. We all know that. But I don't think overall a story like this, it only makes Ben Simmons and his Clutch Sports look bad.
One thing is weird, too, is that he then comes back and tries to do again, they're going to try to trot out the mental health thing, which they, again, won't even share that there is a mental health. There isn't a mental health issue. This is an issue of this is somebody right now who appears to be, he very well may be a undiagnosed mental health issue because he's off the rails.
Yeah, and Ramona approached that in the story, saying that he says he went to his own, but they will not provide documentation of such. So, she's laying it right out there like, this is what Clutch Sports and Ben Simmons are saying. However, they haven't proven to the Sixers that that's what they've done.
And all they had to do, too, by the end, and I saw this yesterday on NBA Today, is all they had to do, all the Sixers asked for is, Pat, is who's the doctor? Tell us the doctor who is telling you that you've got some sort of a mental health issue. They can't even provide the doctor's name.
Seuss.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like it. One fish, blue fish.
It's not, this whole article did not exactly paint him in a good light. That was another example of it. It was like every paragraph, there was something else where you cringed at regarding this situation. And you guys haven't even brought up well, I'm mad at him because he blamed me for this loss, but 3 years ago, I didn't blame him for that loss. And, it was just like, you're seeing we talk about the maturation process of Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid on the court. You're seeing the childish nature of Ben Simmons, who is not matured. He is a perpetuant man-child.
It's continued over and over again. I mean, he just doesn't. He doesn't get it.
He doesn't.
No, and whoever's giving him advice, I talked about his brother signing off on the move, coming back to Philly after Rich laid it out. Like, dude, do you not understand how you're coming off in this? Like, does nobody in your camp understand you have no support? None. I mean, Shaq said it simply and beautifully.
Well, they're going on the offensive now, but obviously now you even got some of the ESPN folks that are now deciding to finally go, oh, yeah, he doesn't sound like a good teammate.
Yeah. I mean, Shaq said what? Because your coach had a funny answer?
Right.
He said that should fuel you.
Yesterday, twice on SportsCenter between Richard Jefferson, Pat's favorite, Kendrick Perkins and everything, along the lines of without exact words, who wants this as a teammate?
I don't know.
To me, that kills the Sixers. So if you've got ex-NBA players are all going, who would want this in their locker room?
But they've been killed for a while.
But that kills the Sixers.
I mean, one of the most forgotten things in this whole saga is that he faked a COVID exposure in Game 7 of the playoffs. If that doesn't kill his value to other GMs around the league, nothing will, because that's pathetic.
Yeah, and they're getting killed through no fault of their own.
No question.
They didn't ask for this. They didn't do this. Ben Simmons decided to do all of this, and the Sixers are left, with a handful of nothing. Because now listen, somebody out of 30 teams in the NBA is going to say, you know what, I'll take that talent. We'll give it a try. We've seen it throughout the history of sports. So it will come to a head, and things they will part somehow.
Yeah, when he gets devalued to a point of ridiculous cheapness.
Exactly. So, that's why it's kind of incumbent, like we talked about before, it's incumbent upon Daryl Morey to look elsewhere on how he's going to, build up this team that's playing very, very well right now and has an MVP-level player in Joel Embiid, to build this team around him without the Ben Simmons trade having to be in the forefront.
And tonight we will have the Sixers and the Wizards tonight. You're going to hear it right here on The Fanatic. Your opportunity to see your 76ers in action. I'm looking forward to going down tonight and feeling some of the energy of the building and see where things go. Tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on The Fanatic. You don't want to miss that one.
I just want to thank all of you guys for the show of good faith that you had, by the way, for coming to work today. It was big of all of you.
Yeah, it was good for us to show up to go to work today.
Well, I did hustle in right before tip-off.
Yeah, it was questionable.
Here's the good faith,
I expected
Pat.
to be paid still.
I like paying bills. I enjoy being able to pay the bills.
But we all know, for us, it's not about the money.
It's not.
It's never been about the money.
It's the love.
We're built different.
What still just drives me crazy is he's 25 years old. He's playing basketball. And the guy is sitting out a year at 25, at the prime of your career.
Don't understand it.
He just is sitting out. He's not playing. I've talked to a lot of people in the league, a lot of people outside. Can you imagine sitting out a year in your prime? And all of them were, unless it's an injury, absolutely not. Because even if I had an injury, I'd be fighting to get back on that court as best I can. He's not.
We have the other story then. On the day that Tom Brady retires, Brian Flores decides to sue the NFL. Talk about, you never would think that the official announcement of Brady's retirement could be upstaged, but it was. And Brian Flores says that one of the reasons he's suing is he says that he has proof that the New York Giants had already decided to hire Brian Dable and had him back for an interview just to do a dog and pony show, just to be able to carry that thing out. And he uses a Bill Belichick text. That is his proof. Now, unless Bill Belichick, and just listening to some of the legal experts last night, unless Bill Belichick someone can say he's considered an expert on what the Giants are doing or any other organization is doing, that they would actually consult with him and he would know the final decision had already been made. This is hearsay on Belichick's part. It's going to be a hard part for Brian Flores to be able to prove that he's suing. He got passed over for all these jobs. He's suing the NFL. A lot of different feelings on there. I have friends who work on the covering the Dolphins. Gentleman says to me this morning, he goes, it's really weird that he's not a popular guy. He goes, but he thought he was a good coach. He thought Brian Flores was a good coach. He said, but he's not a popular guy. When no players spoke up, Miami Dolphins players, when Doug Peterson got fired, I went back and looked and saw how many Eagles players spoke on the record about Doug Peterson, to wish him well, to talk about what he did, to talk about what kind of a good coach he was and everything. When Flores left the Dolphins, which was a shocking thing that he left, players weren't. Silence.
That makes no difference to me whatsoever.
Yeah, I
could care less about what players saying. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach. I don't care if your players like you or not.
But it might explain why another organization doesn't want to hire you.
He's also going at the league's throat. So if you're a player,
no. This is weeks after he's fired. This is when he got fired in Miami. His players didn't go. Any coach gets fired, you have players that say on the record, "Good guy, wish him well.
Yeah.
Hope he has a great future. He should be a head coach again. This is a disgrace."
Yeah,
there's a reason he had a lot of bad relationships in his building, and I think sometimes when that gets out, that you're a tough employee, it keeps you from getting another job.
Yeah, but I think he's fighting the bigger fight than him, just him. There's one black coach out of 32 in the NFL. That's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. He decided to bring this to a head where probably a lot of other people were afraid to do so. There's something inherently wrong with this.
He's never going to coach again, and he knows that, and that's the sacrifice he's making. Yeah, he'll never be in the league again. So to Bob's point, it is about the bigger good. It's kind of insane. Look, to the counter that he's 24 and 25 in 3 years in Miami. It's not exactly.
Which I don't think he's terrible.
It's not terrible. No, it's Miami.
But
I think Ross is considered a fairly shaky owner. I mean, there's a reason not a lot of free agents ever go to Miami.
This guy says since he's gotten there, he said the organization is a mess.
Yeah, and sitting on the yacht and potentially offering them money to lose. I mean, it seems like a terrible situation. It's a weird case. I'm fascinated to see how it goes. When you see some NFL writers that have, like Peter King, he's kind of been a league guy, and he's questioning it because the league within 2 hours is saying without merit. That's a little fishy to me. How do you know that? The case just got presented to you.
I think there are, as far as this story, it's been going on. It's been going on for years. I think there could be a better person to carry the water, but he's doing it. He's doing a better person that, like, to me, if Eric Bieniemy,
I'm shocked he wasn't even interviewed.
Like, I mean, now Eric Bieniemy has obviously, and a lot of people have written about it. He had some personal things in his past from the college era that teams are afraid of being brought up and talked about. But there's so many good coaches that I think are better. I think better cases that could speak to better cases.
He's got some pretty good things on his side. I mean, if these things come to fruition of the stuff that he's talking about, that an owner was asking him to throw games, that people are bringing him in for a job interview when they've already decided who it is. He's got some pretty good cases on his side if they prove out to be
that's
true.
Hearsay, though. It's
not if it's proven true.
How could they prove it?
Well, he's got text messages from Bill Belichick.
I mean,
Bill Belichick's not with the Giants, though.
He has text messages from Bill Belichick saying that they were going to hire Dabble. It's true.
You want my conspiracy theory?
Yes.
Bill Belichick's in on this. I think he's helping Brian Flores out. I don't think he had a boomer moment.
So you don't believe you believe he added into it?
I think he knows his boy is getting screwed. He was with him for 10+ years.
Could be.
I think Bill Belichick did that on purpose.
Could be. I mean,
it needs to be done.
I would find
it needs to be done.
I think he was sitting back going, "All right, this is ridiculous." Brian, I'll help you.
I'd find it very hard to believe that Bill Belichick would make a mistake like that.
So do I.
That's just me. I find it very hard to believe that he'd.
So do I.
I don't think
he just saves his contacts as Brian's.
I don't think Bill.
He's got 9 Brian's in his phone.
But the thing is, though, he might have had Brian Dable and Brian Flores right next to each other.
Maybe.
Siri,
First of all,
do you text Brian?
First of all, do you lead your? Do you have your phone? My phone is by last name.
I put in both.
Yeah, but alphabetically, if I'm in my phone, Dable and Flores would be nowhere near each other because Dable would be with the D's and Flores would be with the F's.
I think you can sort it both ways.
I don't sort it by first name.
Yeah,
I sort it by last name.
But then I look at the last name.
I'll go Lynch, Cooney.
I don't.
You don't.
No.
So you do first names when you put in someone's contact. See, to me, that's where I was
Kincade,
suspicious.
and I would go to John.
See, now that's where it's suspicious. So if you have 7 Johns in your phone, they're all together.
Mm-hmm. That's why the last name's Kidd.
See, now I could see him making a mistake that way.
I think he's in on it.
No, I don't think he made a mistake.
See, I'm suspicious of it. I'm suspicious of it all.
And
Flores being his guy.
Yeah.
And Dable really not.
Well, Dable worked for him too.
I understand,
but I think Flores is his guy, and he's sitting back going, all right, Ross is terrible. The Giants are screwing you.
I got to tell you, though, if he wants to win this case, he's going to need a lot more than that. He's going to need a lot more than Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick, it's hearsay with the Giants. He's working on complete hearsay. It's going to need more, and that's what the legal
hopefully
experts...
he has it. I mean, he's laid a lot of things out there. Hopefully he has it, because this has to be corrected. It has to be corrected.
I don't know. How do you make somebody hire somebody?
I don't know. But the Rooney Rule is
when we want it corrected, that is the thing is, I would say if you are proven to be negotiating in bad faith, like that, if they have somehow an agreement in principle, and by the way, they can obviously get emails. If they had an agreement in principle with Brian Dable and brought him in for an interview, that's just freaking wrong. That's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That should be loss of draft picks. But you can't force somebody to buy it.
But it might be happening the same thing to Patrick Graham right now in Minnesota.
Could be.
Like it's just a horse and pony show, being like, oh yeah, we'll bring you in and you're a candidate. And if he's got proof that he wasn't a candidate and the guy was already hired,
well, Jim Harbaugh is interviewing today.
Yeah, he's got the job
on National Signing Day.
Yeah.
with National Signing Day coming in together.
Ridiculous. Something horrible.
Hey, Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. You can explore more at your local Staples store or visit staplesconnect.com. So, we are 12 days in counting. To what? Plus, if you want to get in, you want to share some thoughts on what we were just discussing, we'd love to hear from you at 610-632-0975. It's the John Kincade Show. Good morning, everybody. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The moment we've been waiting for since September is finally here. In honor of the big game, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? You can experience Super Bowl 56 with same-game parlays. I'm probably going to have like a baker's dozen of them. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want to. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that code FANATIC and get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code FANATIC at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Join Bob Cooney and Andrew Salchunas today from 6 to 7 p.m. at Great American Pub, 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken for the 97.5 The Fanatic Sixers pregame show. Beers with Bob edition, presented by Corona. Enter for a chance to win Sixers tickets and play the song t-shirts and enjoy 350 Corona bottles and Corona Premier drafts. For more details, visit the events page on 975thefanatic.com.
I hate Steven Singer.
I get that a lot.
You know why?
Why?
Because unless I buy my gifts from Steven Singer Jewelers, my wife isn't satisfied.
So, how can I help you?
Well, how do you get away with advertising real roses you don't throw in the trash in a week?
They're my famous roses, dipped in pure 24-karat gold. They last forever.
Sounds expensive.
They start at just $59. Each one comes in a premium color and is shipped in our signature gift box with a love message from you.
Do I have to water it?
Nope, it's a real rose, and it's preserved in pure gold.
All right. How do I get one?
Easy. Just go to IHateStevenSinger.com.
Shipping.
It's free, and your rose is guaranteed for life.
What if she hates my personal love message?
Just pick one from our online list.
Just click on IHateStevenSinger.com to see the entire collection of real roses dipped in 24-karat gold. No matter how you feel about Steven Singer, she'll love it.
Do you still hate me?
Absolutely.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you could buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-738-9900. 800-738-9900. 800-738-9900.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
This is your Wendy's wake-up call. Start your day with a better breakfast and get a free drink with any of our morning-making breakfast sandwiches. That's your favorite drink in a Wendy's cup, free. Fresh brewed coffee, free. Diet Coke, free. Vanilla Frosty-Chino, that's cold brew plus Frosty Creamer plus free. So don't sleep on this deal. Get any size drink in a Wendy's cup free when you buy any breakfast sandwich. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's. A la carte only. Offer valid upon request on lowest price qualifying item. Not valid for third-party delivery.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drexel basketball is back. Join fans from across the city as our men's and women's teams defend their CAA championship titles right here on Market Street in the intimate Daskalakis Athletic Center. This is your chance to get an up-close seat for electrifying Division I action as our Drexel Dragons continue to build upon the city's tradition of basketball success and begin their championship runs. Because the excitement can't wait. To get your tickets, go to drexel.edu/Dragon Tickets.
Are you a window and door installer looking for work or a change? Subcontractors wanted for window and door installations. Come work for a locally owned company in business for over 30 years. Make your own hours, have use of a dumpster for your trash, and get paid weekly. Install windows and doors for one of the area's most respected companies, Thermal Quality Windows. Hiring now. Call 610-325-0788 or visit thermalqualitywindows.com. Thermalqualitywindows.com.
At 7-Eleven, we have fresh coffee 24/7. And if it's not fresh, it's free. That's 7-Eleven confidence. 7-Eleven, take it to 11. Offer ends 2/2/22. Participating stores. Refund must be at store of purchase. See 7-Eleven.com for terms.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now.
Tonight, the local team is back in action. The Sixers take on the Wizards, and right now the line on BetMGM is Sixers minus 9.5. If you just want to take the Sixers money line, you're looking at minus 500. What do, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that what you do is you hop on BetMGM and you build a one-game parlay. It's designed to make you have selections within a single game, and you have over 400 bet types. So you could take the big man with the over in rebounds and points. You could even skew the line if you want, so not minus 9.5 could turn into minus 7.5. You could take Maxey with, let's say, over an assist. You could take all of it and build it in one game where the odds in your favor. So all you have to do is log on to BetMGM.com and create your one-game parlay today. But BetMGM realizes that you might want a risk-free bet, for example. Well, they're going to give you one by just dropping my name. When you sign up with BetMGM and they ask you for a bonus code, you simply type in Pat Egan. That is it. When you type in Pat Egan, your first bet is risk-free up to $1,000, and it opens you up to try that one-game parlay. So hop on BetMGM today, and trust me when I say one-game parlay is the best feature on the site. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. New Jersey and Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions subject to qualification, eligibility requirements. Rewards issued and non-withdrawable free bets to site credit. Free bets expire within 7 days of issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
No, your radio's not broken. We sound like this on purpose.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
We have some really smart listeners. Like, do you ever think sometimes the people who listen to the show are just so much smarter?
Dumb sometimes.
I've had 3 lawyers already chiming in, had some listeners chiming in, have an attorney. Let me see.
I'm an
here.
idiot.
Yeah, well, no, I just don't know the law like some of our fine listeners are. You know, we have some fine listeners that are esquires. Daniel listens to the show, and he's an esquire.
I mean, he goes on dates for money?
He's not an escort, Pat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then TJ is talking on Twitter too, and he's sort of saying the same thing. Flores filed this suit as a class action lawsuit with hopes of bringing other coaches in. So then Daniel says, watch the next 72 hours. If other coaches join this lawsuit, this thing is going to have some real teeth. If other coaches do not go by and join him shoulder to shoulder in this cause, it's going to look like a disgruntled guy who got fired from a job who can't find another one. And so he needs other people to go, I'm going to stand shoulder to shoulder with you.
Well, I would think you have those conversations before filing class action, right?
Yeah, here's hoping, because that is a slippery slope. If I'm employed by the league, if I'm an Eric Bieniemy or somebody like that, am I going to go out against the league and risk my job?
It would have to be former guys.
People, and are there
they'd
enough
have to
of
have
them?
some evidence, too.
Daniel says here, he says the Bill Belichick texts prove nothing. It will be, there isn't a court in the country that would consider that, because he is not a Giant. He has no, what he hears.
He also hates the Giants.
What he hears, exactly. He doesn't have that in his email. Here he goes. But what he hears secondhand isn't factual, so it can't be used. Now, if they were able to seize records where Brian Dable, either by text message or email, had already agreed to the job and had taken the job, but it had just not been announced yet, then it would potentially have teeth.
I'm sure there's a paper trail there.
So you guys even haven't talked about the Eagles' impact with this.
What's that?
Brian Flores was a finalist for the Houston job along with Jonathan Gannon.
Wow.
So, I mean, when I saw this immediately, I thought, all right, Gannon's gone.
Well, Doug Peterson got a second interview with Jacksonville. So,
and the Saints wanted to talk to him.
And the Saints are going to supposedly talk to him. So I'm wondering, too, if, he's getting back into the mix.
Wow, they might be D-coordinator hunting then. I didn't even think about that angle.
Which would be great, right?
I wanted to see him again.
No, I want to see him again.
Wait a minute.
Yesterday you tried to paint me this anti-Gannon guy. I'm not that guy.
I'm going to tell you that there are two spectacular defensive coordinators on the market.
Who? Wink
Fangio? Martindale and Vic Fangio.
But they're both 3-4
who are considered,
guys, which is
I got
tough.
you. Yeah, but here's...
Harbaugh might have Fangio in his pocket, apparently, is a rumor I read.
Yeah,
that
Harbaugh.
he's bringing Fangio to Minnesota with him.
Who's got it better than we do? Minnesota does? I mean, Jim Harbaugh.
Look, I'd love those guys, but I just don't know if Howie and the team are going to shift to the 3-4. It's a big change. If there was ever a time to do it, it's now.
Sure. Do you want the better coach? Do you want the better philosophy? Do you want the better...
Oh, absolutely.
Or do you want a guy that
Fangio's
just
one of the
fits
best
in?
D guys in the league for the last 10 years.
I'm not hiring at that point, it's not like there's that much. How much personnel on the Philadelphia Eagles is on the defensive side of the ball? You say is, well, it's untouchable. We got to work with this guy. We need this guy. There's not that many.
I would bring in Fangio. I just don't think they'll overhaul.
Well, what do they overhaul? What do they overhaul?
You'd have to get a lot more linebackers. You'd have to get better safety play. You need another stand-up linebacker.
You need that if Gannon's here anyway.
You need it exactly. You're going to need.
If you're ever going to do it, it's the time to do it. It's with 3 first-round picks. But I just don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah, because if you're spending all 3 first-round picks on defense, you're probably doing it with the idea that they're playing the 4-3. This happens all the time where, like, you draft a guy for a 4-3 and then you switch the next year to a 3-4 and he sucks.
Well, who's the guy that's completely lost if they made the switch?
Josh Sweat.
I don't think there's. Seriously.
The line's versatile, so they could pull it off.
Could it actually benefit Josh Sweat?
It could. He's athletic enough to be that stand-up.
I mean, it's an interesting story. We'll watch it and see how this goes. 12 days away from pitchers and catchers supposedly reporting for duty.
God, I hope so.
Well, it doesn't seem
that's not going to happen.
It doesn't seem like we're getting any closer to this thing resolving quickly. I was a little surprised yesterday, though. I didn't realize that you guys were going to be as. I always think it's like February comes and I'm like, okay, I want baseball. You guys were really waxing poetic yesterday.
I got an itch. I guess Anthony's right. Every February when the calendar turns, I start thinking about Clearwater. And I mentioned on Sunday with Tunis, I was just like, hey man, I got the itch. I want to know who the players are, because forget baseball coming back. It's going to come back. The Phillies still have the floodgates to open in free agency. They haven't done anything.
Okay, so you're the
hot stove is alive.
The thing is, though, is it just baseball? Is it warmer weather? Because I don't know where this the Phillies' pangs are coming from.
I'm not kidding you when I said, now, as a sports month, I hate February, and I've told you that earlier this week. I hate February as a sports month. I'm not kidding this. This is so weird. I used to love it at the paper when I worked at the Daily News that we would get the list of what was going down to Clearwater in the trucks for the Phillies. The 9,000 baseballs, the 8,500 packs of gum. I'm not kidding you. I love thinking of that. Hearing, we turn on the TV, you turn on the news, and you hear the ball hit the mitt. I mean, that to me is just a rite of spring, and it flips the calendar for me. I hate February as a sports month. That helps me get through it, knowing the pitchers and catchers are down there. We're not getting it.
I'm just looking at it and going, Braves and Mets.
I just want to know who the left fielder is, the center fielder is, the closer is. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they make a move still. Maybe they try and, I don't know, ship somebody out. They're still, this team isn't even formed
to make
for
a
change.
Okay.
I mean, if you move a Segura or a Didi just for the sake of change and, I don't know, do something. Just, I'm poking them with a stick.
You could go from 83 wins to 82 wins to 83 wins with bold moves like that.
Now, see, this is where you get dismissive way too early in that sport.
Okay.
This is like when the Braves lose Acuna.
Yeah.
And Albies for a good portion of the season, and everyone goes, all right, that's it. And John, I'm here to tell you. Unfortunately, that team won the World Series.
Who's the Acuna and Albies for this team?
If you lost, I'm just technically saying I'm lost. Yeah,
Castellanos and Harper as corner outfielders.
Well, if we had Castellanos, then we can talk about this.
Schwarber and Harper's better than it was.
It's way too a lot of times the team that wins the World Series might not be the obvious choice in February. So dismissing the would-be moves that this team could possibly make once this is lifted. A little premature.
You guys have a lot of optimism.
It can't be bad for us,
right? You have a childlike optimism.
They're winning the World Series, John. That's all we're saying.
Basically what we're saying.
Aaron Nola's definitely a Cy Young candidate.
Comeback player of the year.
No question about that.
See, it's that childlike optimism that gets me through the day.
It can't be bad forever, right?
Mumphrey was a cockeyed optimist.
They got to do something right eventually, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. But if they get two things right this offseason, I still don't think that's enough to push them into being a playoff team.
Well, there's one person that I think their success really hinders on that doesn't get mentioned. That's Ranger Suarez. If Ranger Suarez can have, I'm not expecting him to have.
No, they could be a top 3 starter.
But exactly, I'm not expecting him to have that sub 2 ERA. But if he can give you
a solid top 3 starter,
3.4, I mean that'd be huge.
How about a Jamie Moyer season from 2008? Now Moyer won 16 that year, and he was the third pitcher on that team. But if Suarez can kind of give you that, 16 wins is a lot in this day and age.
That would be good, though.
Yeah, that kind of a third starting season that you're not expecting, that's huge. Absolutely.
Bumps Eflin back to the 4 spot.
I think once I find out who their closer is going to be, I could potentially have a little more optimism. And then if I find out who the free agent corner outfielder is, and I'm already on the record of going, Kyle Schwarber is the Phillies-est move of all time that they could make, and I expect that to be the move. And everyone's going to talk themselves into, well, that 1 year he had was that's really who he is.
He's had more than one good year. He's had 30-plus home runs, I think, 4 times. He's solid.
But he's also a guy with the giant holes in his swing that good pitchers can exploit.
But if he brings along a decent center fielder option where we don't have to watch the insanity we watched the last 4 years, then
I want your cockeyed, childish optimism.
I forgot they got Kyle Gibson for another year too.
Yeah.
Their rotation
could be solid.
Good. Yeah, pretty good.
If your boy Aaron Nola is the linchpin of the rotation.
Then that's a terrible option.
Well,
this is the year. This is the year.
There you go,
This is the year. He's
and then
coming
we bring
around.
back Cole Hamels.
Oh yeah, well, Cole. I guarantee you, Cole's going to try to.
Yeah.
Cole's going to then be playing with his medicine ball and
him
have to sit out another
battle
year.
for the 5th.
Hey, your local.
Why do you hate Cole Hamels?
It's because it's the same thing. I hate nostalgia. I don't like signing for nostalgia, and nostalgia is because
they haven't signed him.
Don't do it.
He's been on the team since 2015.
Hey, your local budget blinds, they do it all for you. They design, they measure, they install. You just sit back, relax, and enjoy your window treatments. I did absolutely nothing dealing with budget blinds. They were awesome. Check out your local budget blinds. You're going to get total peace of mind. In the linchpin, Jamie just thinks that Ben's a little off his rocker.
This is the linchpin.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking. The excuse that stood out to me the most. According to sources close to Simmons, he's upset with Embiid, seemed to blame him for last season's playoff loss, when Simmons did not blame Embiid for his poor showing in the playoffs against the Raptors in 2019. Okay. Joel Embiid was sick, I think, before Game 4 and was pretty funky.
Couldn't play.
Yeah, he had a knee injury. He wasn't physically at his best. But the man had a pretty good series overall. Ben Simmons averaged 11 points a game and 5 assists per game. I think it was 11, 5, and 5 for that series. In that series, the Sixers were minus 16 when Ben Simmons was in and minus 3 when he was on the bench. In comparison, Joel Embiid was plus 90 when he was in, and they were minus 109 when he was on the bench. On what planet do you understand basketball? Like, I wonder about his IQ. He can't possibly believe this. The camp can't possibly believe this. How delusional can you be?
Okay.
The difference was night and day when Joel Embiid was on and off the court. You had Greg Monroe playing meaningful minutes for you. What the hell are they even saying?
Okay, what I'm going to say to you is this, is I listened to this radio station and other radio stations and then read all the media, and I even went back yesterday and read some of the stuff that was written, fan reactions, things like that to that loss. Then the whole city was delusional on that loss because the guy who was getting a ton of heat for that series was Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was getting raked through the coals in this town.
Yeah, and he also...
now,
I don't know about raked through the coals.
He was getting maligned.
He also set an NBA record for, like, the biggest differential of on-off court ever. Like...
He got
a plus 90 to a minus 109.
No, I get you. That's what people are saying today. The week after that series, people were not. That wasn't the talking point in this town.
No,
he was getting ridiculed.
It wasn't. I don't remember him getting raked over the coals. Maybe there was critique, but I don't.
A lot of critique. And he was a guy who had that series, and he got a lot of critique.
He dominated that series.
I think he was
playing.
awesome. I mean, he was fantastic.
Ben Simmons was again a negative.
No, I'm not defending Ben at all. Believe me.
But that's what they're pushing.
But now all of a sudden, people are like that this town wasn't all over Joel Embiid.
I don't remember it being all over Embiid after that. I really don't. I remember that the question of, oh my God, again, Ben Simmons came up short. At least you didn't have to play T.J. McConnell over him again.
The gastroenteritis game where he got crushed.
Yeah, I mean,
he got crushed for that.
Yeah, he missed a game.
I mean, he was ridiculed for it, though.
Yeah, when you're the best player and you miss a game, you
should be ridiculed for
a
game. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if the guy's sick,
poops.
I mean, if he's that sick, I don't know. I can't judge a guy being that sick. I don't know. I think it sucked because it was one of those things where you're like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
He's missing it. But I don't know how sick he was. But he got trolled for that.
He missed a game because he had the poops. Yeah, people were pissed because you had a chance to go to the conference finals.
And there was both ends.
He was out the night before.
There was a rumor that he was out with Trevor Noah the night before because Trevor was in town, I believe, that night.
And everybody knows Trevor. Trevor turns up.
Gives you, and does Trevor give you gastroenteritis?
Well, they went out to a late meal and may have gotten sick there. Who knows? The point is,
I get sick watching Trevor Noah's monologue.
They went to a Bennigan's. Because it was one of the only things open.
When you're there, Pat, your family.
Yeah, when you're there, you're on the toilet, it sounds like.
But to blame Embiid for that, like, what? Dude, that's not a winning. This isn't a winning formula you're trotting out here. You want a doc to show up to the gym when you were working out after you ignored his calls and texts?
What a weirdo.
Like, what is going
That's
on?
Weird. If
was he going to show up with a card and flowers and chocolates and say, Ben, I miss you?
And a Steven Singer Gold Dip Rose.
If I text somebody, call somebody, email somebody, and they don't respond to me,
you're done. I cut you off.
You're dead to me. Yeah. You're dead to me.
If you can't call me back, then
I can hold a grudge much better than I mean. I could teach a doctor a course on it. There's no way. I'm not chasing you down, and I'm certainly not going someplace where you are in public. Because if you're going to be an ass to me like that, by not responding to me, last thing I'm going to do is give you a chance to be an ass to me in person.
After flying across the country to do so.
And he told his teammates not to come.
Yeah.
Unless the teammates are telling us a different story, and I don't believe them. Why am I doubting them? that he didn't want that.
And here's the quote that really got me. And this is just outsider looking in. I think the source is his brother in this, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would guess you're right.
Here's the quote. We don't give an F about the money. That's not what this is. It's hard for people to understand, but if you believe in what you're doing, and that this is not the right situation for you, and you're trying to get to a better place, the money doesn't matter. What you're trying to do the right thing. What are you talking about? If you believe in what you're doing, what are you doing? You're not showing up for work. Like, okay, it might not be the right situation in your mind, but at least you show up until the situation changes. I can't imagine Clutch handling this any worse than they have, and I wonder how much of this is run by Ben through them saying, no, I want you to put this out there. And as I was reminded yesterday on the way home talking about this situation, don't you find it odd that Simmons has said nothing? Nothing.
Well, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean by that? You think
He hasn't said a thing. He hasn't come out with a statement. He hasn't come out and said, yes, I'm actively looking for a trade. He's said nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing.
And the day he was supposed to speak to the media, he threw a temper tantrum in practice and got
thrown out.
Kicked out on purpose. That. Yeah.
Because he didn't want to speak.
No, God, no.
Yeah, I don't know. If I feel I'm being wronged, I'm speaking up to the people that are wronging me.
Correct.
And it doesn't appear that he's doing that either.
And I'm not having my brother speak for me. By the way, and the brother talking about the money.
Yeah.
Dude, get your own job. Get a job. Don't be living off your brother. Don't be a sponge. It's his money. It's not your money.
He works for his brother.
Don't speak but he does not speak for his money. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have money if his brother doesn't play basketball. There's no money coming in. It's the brother's money. The brother gives him money to do a job. Don't speak for it.
I don't know what his brother's job is.
He's doing. He is. He's
picks up groceries.
He's a day manager. Is what his title was.
Washes the car.
He's considered day manager. He manages
keeps the house in order.
No, he manages his day. Is what it says.
The dog, the house.
He's a day manager.
Bills,
by the way, if I was a professional athlete,
opens mail.
If I was a professional athlete, I think
You'd hire Doc to run your stuff.
No, I wouldn't. Not my brother.
Waters plants.
He'd have a flip phone.
Yeah.
And I'd want something done yesterday, and Doc would take like 3 weeks to get it done. No.
I'd hire my sister if I had Ben Simmons' money. I can't blame him for hiring his brother.
No, but I mean, it's like the brother
shut
saying,
up about
our
money. Yeah.
It's not your money, dude. It's not the money.
We don't give a bleep about money? Hey, whoa, calm down.
What could you earn on your own? Don't talk about your brother's money.
$19 million so far.
It's amazing.
12 more to come.
He's lost a ton, and he keeps losing it.
It's unbelievable.
Bob has some comments on leadership coming up, plus just a few lessons in history on who Jamie wants to be the next Eagles quarterback. We'll get to it next. John Kincade Show here on The Fanatic. With the Park Sportsbook app, you got a chance to be just loaded up for the big game weekend. You can already look at the lines. I already put a teaser on the game. I never do teasers, but I'll do one for the Super Bowl. And the lines are fantastic right now on the Parks Sportsbook app. It's safe. It's backed by one of the best casinos you're ever going to see, that Parks Casino. And you don't have to just bet on point spreads. You can bet on individual player performances, game props, and more. The same game parlays allow you to use your personal expertise on a matchup and really double up. And new customers, you can make your first bet risk-free up to $500. Just download in the App Store or click parkscasino.com/PA. Use my promo code FANATIC, and your risk-free bet will be refunded in site credit. Should you lose, but I think you're pretty smart, so I think you're going to win. I love winning on the Park Sportsbook app. It's game time. You have to be 21 and in the state of Pennsylvania. And I want to remind you, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
You can't just tag no offense on the end of something horribly offensive and act like it's okay.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Yo, Philadelphia, Anthony Gargano here with my childhood friend, Bob Marino. Bob, rumors are flying that you're the next Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, a two-sport man.
It's true. I still have the honorable position as director on the board of Spring Garden Lending, but I am also now president and vice chairman of Huntingdon Valley Bank.
Wow. Bob knows Bucks. That's a win-win for both teams.
Good call, Ant. I get to stay active with Spring Garden Lending and be an everyday player and president and vice chairman at Huntingdon Valley Bank.
I'm so proud of you, man. That's fantastic. From a lender to a banker, you've always been a player who can do everything. Now I know Spring Garden Lending provides bridge and permanent loans to build or renovate real estate in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and D.C. What's the lowdown on Huntingdon Valley Bank?
And it's a fast-growing, full-service community bank with top-notch resources and products and committed to delivering excellent customer service.
You heard it here. Bob knows Bucks. Bob Marino making moves, stepping up, member of the board of directors at Spring Garden Lending and president of Huntingdon Valley Bank. Good luck, Bob. You're the GOAT.
College basketball season is heating up, which means it's time for the Wendy's Wooden Watch. In 2002, I was honored to have received the John R. Wooden Player of the Year Award, which is presented to the country's most outstanding men's and women's player, who is also making progress towards earning a degree. This year, players like Chet Holmgren, Jaden Ivey, Nalissa Smith, and Aaliyah Boston are all vying for the trophy. So who will take it home? The 2022 John R. Wooden Men's and Women's Player of the Year Award is presented by Wendy's.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Got a party of 10 coming in. We need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, because they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a dusty crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage gear shifters. I can't imagine being able to stock 122 million parts. I mean, where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
But they need a proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Before we made Caesar Sportsbook and Casino app, they pitched me that Angry Candy or whatever, but I passed on it. I didn't see the point. Now, why would you crush birds for nothing when you can crush real slots for money and Caesar's rewards? I mean, maybe it's me, but I want to win something when I win, people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in New Jersey only for new players. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball. And Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Hey, fella, this is Joel Embiid, and you're listening to the John Kincade Show.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Seven AM Hours brought to you by my sportsbook app of choice. The Parks Casino Sportsbook app. You can download it at parkscasino.com/PA and use promo code Fanatic. Makes me want to order a cocktail. Don't know why. Just
this song.
I feel like
Is this Warren G? Who is this?
Tupac.
It's Tupac. Yeah.
I feel like it's like you're like I feel like you're walking into a. You see a bar in front of you. There's some music playing. You walk on over and you get a nice cocktail.
Give me a blue velvet. I get to do that all weekend. Sans children.
How excited are you to do that?
It's a breakthrough on the charts. If it was a 1 through 10 scale, I'd be at like a 16.
Good for you.
Do you see how lucky we are that
another weekend where Jamie's traveling?
We're lucky though.
Nice.
If the storm was,
it's gonna rain though.
60 miles right or 70 miles right further east, we would be slammed this weekend. Like we would be slammed with a storm that would have shut us down for a couple days. See? We lucked out.
We're really not in like a bad spot for weather. I've often thought about this. In terms of the rest of the country, we don't deal with tornadoes.
Yeah.
Other than that one earthquake years ago.
I disagree. Tornadoes are becoming...
Not in the city of Philadelphia, tornadoes are becoming an issue?
Dude, right up by me, I missed it by like a mile.
Well, I mean...
Drive up 309, it's just, you could see the path of the storm.
Do you live in Philadelphia or do you live in that bougie suburb?
I live 1 mile from Philadelphia. 1 mile.
You live in that bougie suburb.
My cousin's high school, she got...
Yeah, Upper Dublin.
Upper
the path
Dublin.
on 309 through Upper Dublin and like Fort Washington, it's crazy. You can just see the storm.
I'm not talking about
it was her first day of junior
She said
year.
it didn't happen.
And I think they went to the first day and it hit. It's not Philadelphia is not Tornado Alley.
Tornadoes do not want to pay the Philadelphia beverage tax, so they avoid it at all costs. If you're in Philadelphia, you're safe from it.
As someone who
our weather.
It's nice weather.
Yeah, you got to deal with snow
I like
and
the
humidity,
changes.
and that's it.
We live in the Northeast. Did we not think it's going to be cold and it's going to snow and stuff like that?
But like hurricanes,
I love it.
like we don't get
we don't
smashed
get
with
all that.
hurricanes.
No, I love the changes season.
No, it's
Philadelphia Appreciation Day.
As someone who now still can, if I would hear the tornado alarm go off, and having seen communities just to my left and right for years get destroyed, when I hear that tornado warning go off, I took it seriously because I just saw so much devastation. It's like it's terrible.
When did it go off?
It would go off in the middle of the night.
Are you talking about like now or back then?
No, not here.
Oh, okay, back then. Yeah, back then,
I mean, I got used to it, and in the beginning, people were like, "Well, you're going to want to get a tornado radio." They have the weather radio, alert radio, and I'm like, I'm all right.
Good.
I'm all right. Till I saw the community literally like a mile and a half from us.
All of a sudden, you rushed out and got that radio, didn't you?
I got out one and got it. But when I hear it, when that alert comes, I listen to it.
I
get
radio,
to a spot.
an app. You can stream it on YouTube.
If we get an alert again, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, now people will.
I didn't expect to see that.
Hey, the Russell Wilson issues are out there, and he's one of the most positive, as far as options for the Eagles. If you're just talking about the quarterback that he is, he's absolutely fantastic. I put you to the Seattle newspapers and the Seattle media that covers the team, and they have portrayed him in the last couple years as a guy who is in and I'm going to say decline. A guy whose game has developed some little holes in it and things that could be better. But any market is going to do that. But we all rave about the talents of Russell Wilson. But ask yourself, if a team is truly nothing without a quarterback, why would they want to get rid of him? And if they do want to get rid of him, why? If he's a great team builder and leader, why would you ever want him gone? You'd fix the pieces around him. they've got the power to make the choice, not Russell Wilson. This would be, if he gets moved on, it is a completely Seattle decision. Might they have grown tired of him? There's numerous reports from this year that it seems as if the brass has grown more tired of him than maybe he's tired of them.
Awesome.
In 2018, the Sports Illustrated expose on what happened to the Seahawks painted a picture of a guy who demanded, got special privileges, and had some rifts with his defensive teammates that continued even after the Legion of Boom had members move on. It sounds a lot like the piece that was written about Carson Wentz here by Joe Santoliquito that people didn't want to believe. Wilson is a fine talent, great skills, but his leadership has never been something that's been celebrated. And he most certainly does not have a reputation in Seattle of being a locker room unifier, a guy that everyone in the locker room coalesces behind. It's just to balance out the love fest a bit, but does that bother you? And Bob, I know you had some thoughts that we didn't get to in the last hour about leadership. And so I sort of want to go to there is he's not celebrated in the market, the only market he's been in the NFL. He's not celebrated as like a unifier. Does that bother you at all?
No.
From all the teams you've covered or all the locker rooms that you've seen?
Leadership is so overrated. All right, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Kurt Warner. Those are just some. They've all played for more than one team.
Correct.
It doesn't mean the team doesn't want them anymore or anything like that. Or you ask, why don't they want him anymore if he's that good? Well, Joe Montana left San Francisco and went to Kansas City and had a phenomenal couple of years there. Like, things just come to an end. I don't think it means that, all of a sudden the guy's no good anymore. The leadership thing, if you have a leader, you know what else you have? Followers. I think leadership, this leadership word that we use in pro sports, is so overrated. Like, they're all professional athletes. They don't need somebody to lead them. They are adults. They become great at their sport in an early age. They get into the NBA. They are looking out for themselves, for their teams, whatever it may be. They don't have to find a leader, the so-called leader. Now, look, you can have the best player on the court. Joel Embiid is the best player on the 76ers. There's no question about it. Therefore, he leads the team in scoring and rebounding, and he leads the team to wins. This leadership thing where, it's overrated. If you have a leader, it means you have a bunch of followers. And I guarantee you go up to professional athletes and say, are you a leader or a follower? None of them is going to say they're followers.
I don't see this.
It's like this hockey thing, leader in the locker room. That's crap. These guys are 25, 27, 30 years old. They're professional athletes. They're looking out for themselves, for their teams. The leadership thing is so overrated in my mind.
Peyton Manning had a drastic neck condition that the Colts went and drafted, tanked in order to draft the next guy. They didn't trust his medicals. Joe Montana, again, they drafted his replacement and finally had to play him. Tom Brady, he left on his own accord at 43.
Wayne Gretzky, go to any sport. Like you said, why would they get rid of him if he's still good?
Because he's a
lot of great players have gone to other teams while they were still good.
Yeah, they usually come at the end, though. I mean, this is not at the end of Russell Wilson.
They don't. Usually, I can't go into every guy that's been traded throughout the league and say it's usually at the end. A lot of guys get traded right in the middle of their careers.
No, I mean, the examples you gave, though, I'm just saying is that every one of them, I have the reason that they did it, and it wasn't because they just said, if Peyton Manning never had that neck injury, Peyton Manning said it himself. He's not out of Indianapolis. He retires there. But that injury scared the Colts. Scared him, too, by the way.
Well, they should have drafted a defense.
He was never the same. He was never the same after that.
I'd love to find out for myself if these things are true. The Percy Harvin and him fight is apparently true.
The Richard Sherman stuff.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care about it at all.
I really don't.
Not if you can. Not if you can lead a fourth quarter 2-minute drill comeback. Not if you can sling the ball like he does. Not if you can be one of the smartest quarterbacks I've seen play the game in the last 20 years. No, I'll take my chances and find out. Carson Wentz, look, he could have gotten away with stuff because that's what you kind of naturally draw the comparison to, the divider in the locker room, this and that. His play fell off. So you can be a divider as long as you're great because people want to play for that great guy. You can't be a divider and fall off a cliff performance-wise because then you lose everybody.
So as
long as Russell Wilson's great.
Is he great?
Yeah.
right now?
He's one of the 7 or 8.
No. Is he playing great right now?
He threw 40 touchdown passes last season. This season he was hurt, and he's still. I read you the stats the last 5 games of the year. He was pretty good.
Those numbers you gave last year were for the previous season were eye-opening.
He's one of the 7 or 8 you want.
Hey, look,
I would agree there.
Yeah.
You tell me that.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a guy that was that disliked by teammates, he was there for 10 years. And he might be there for the 11th year. You know, I don't look at it like a situation like if he's going to come here, it's going to be immediately toxic and Carson Wentz level, you know, where all of a sudden he's turning people off. Will some people in the locker room be upset? Probably, because they like Jalen Hurts. But I think if you gave all of the players in that locker room truth serum and said Jalen Hurts or Russell Wilson, even with what you're talking about, negative guy in the locker room, all of them are probably saying Russell Wilson because they all want to win.
And two, I don't know the conflicts that he's had, but I would say to you, can you tell me the opportunities where honestly, where Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and other quarterbacks who where the locker room was literally divided and they paid it because of that guy.
But they still won.
I get you. I don't know if it's something.
And Russell Wilson is really special in the sense of he's like kind of like Brady. He can make wide receivers that you've never heard of look really good.
When Jamie says one of the 7 or 8 you want, there's no argument.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no argument when you're looking at it.
This vision of euphoria in a locker room, it's just ridiculous. It's not going to happen. I covered a team that had 15 guys in it. Never once could I say all 15 guys liked each other. Never once. I mean, it just doesn't happen. You know, I played on teams where I couldn't stand guys. I got an all-out fist fight with the other starting guard in my senior year in high school. But we played together and nobody else knew it.
What did he do wrong?
But here's a great quote from Doc Rivers on this stuff, John, and I highlighted it today. He said, I always say from a coaching standpoint, if you have cooperation, you have a chance to be very successful. And when you have it, you have a chance not, and when you don't have it, you have a chance not to be. I think this group cooperates with each other. That's what sports is. You need to cooperate with each other.
A good locker room.
Yeah, but it's not going to be euphoric in that, well, some of the guys didn't like him and a lot of the guys didn't like. That doesn't matter. You need to cooperate on the field, ice court, whatever it may be. I don't think you need to have this, kumbaya
I just can't think of another quarterback where this is talked about like this, and it's documented. Sports Illustrated exposés. The Seattle papers have it from like various seasons where stuff. I can't think of another quarterback where these things are written. Like, I'm trying to think of, like...
I've never heard of Russell Wilson being a problem before. I really haven't.
Well, if you go read that Sports Illustrated piece, it's an expose on it.
Yeah, I mean, we all watch NFL games. We all watch pre-game, right, post-games. I've never heard this being a major problem.
They literally
before.
Got in fistfights in the locker room.
I think, you know how many times that happens?
Yeah. No, okay. Brady, Peyton Manning, the top quarterbacks.
You don't think Tom Brady was hated?
Yeah, some people hated him.
Oh, my God.
I guarantee he drove some people nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to get in a fist fight with Tom Brady because he's Tom Brady.
Who would want to harm that face?
That face is beautiful.
Hey, Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. You can explore more at your local Staples store or visit staplesconnect.com. Are you feeling, Jamie, less or more by the way things have shaked out with this Wilson story as far as now other teams potentially, like if you read the Giants press, they are not in on Russell Wilson.
It's great.
So, and then does this make you feel more confident? Like, do you believe there's maybe some more smoke to this story?
If he's, according to Steve, 50-50 on getting out of there, if the 50 that he's out is true, I think the Eagles are still in good a shape as anybody in the NFL to get him. So I still feel pretty good about it.
John Clayton.
I didn't bring it up today for the record.
Yeah, there you boy.
Good point.
Yeah,
very good point by you.
I did it. Yeah,
John
I did
Clayton,
it, guys.
John Clayton, who is as immersed in that market, he says Russell's going nowhere.
Well, that's sad.
And he is flat out. He says because they're not. This isn't Russell's, and one of his things is this isn't Russell's decision. Russell doesn't get to tell Seattle what he wants. That he says he's going nowhere.
Well,
he doesn't believe that the Seahawks will move on, and that's on the record. John Clayton, he's been there for a long time. I'm not saying he's the end all be all, but he's definitely got boots on the ground as well as anybody.
Sure.
On that story, he says he's going nowhere.
Well, then we move on. But
then where do we move on to?
He's priority number 1,
Deshaun
2,
Watson?
and 3. I wouldn't, but no. I'm not ruling out that the Eagles will.
It's unbelievable.
Ben Simmons is going to be taken by somebody eventually because he gets devalued to a point where you're just like, yeah, sure, okay. Deshaun Watson might get to that same point where he's devalued around the league to a point where a couple teams go, well, I can't deny this anymore.
I am hoping we don't have to. We talked about it yesterday on our group text. I just hope that I don't have to come in here and try to defend him. And because he is a guy who hasn't even tried to explain any of his actions or tried to offer an explanation or tried to, in fact, they tried to do the opposite. They tried to paint the women in the case as being opportunist gold diggers. They said these are baseless claims. And then the women come out and show the DM exchanges for the public record where they're literally saying, I'm not coming over again because of what you did last time. And this won't happen again. He's a guy who is unapologetic.
Yeah.
That's what I can't get. I just can't get past that. I got to believe that the Eagles wouldn't get past it.
Look, I'm not kidding you. I hate talking about him on this show. I really do. And, yeah, nothing has been proven and all that. I hate the thought of him coming here. I hate the thought of it even crossing Jeffrey Lurie's mind of bringing him in here. I hate the thought of anybody kind of, I don't want to say defending him, but even having a thought process of, well, you get him anyway and then see how it plays off. I don't even like talking about him. I really don't. When I see Deshaun Watson on our show sheet or anything like that, I roll my eyes and I put my head back. I can't stand it.
Patty, you feel the same way there?
Yeah, I'm so sick of the Deshaun Watson talk. And mainly because I feel like it's not a real possibility.
So you really believe the Eagles won't consider it?
No, I think I have a better chance of starting at the quarterback's position than Deshaun Watson. They have to give up assets for him. They have to deal with a PR nightmare that they're probably not going to want to deal with. As you said, they have a bunch of females high up. Exactly. They don't want to deal with it. It's just like I would rather. No. You broke me.
By the way, I appreciate everybody who has sent in suggestions. We premiere on Monday. The listener suggested segment of the day comes up on Monday. We started soliciting these last week. I think I had 28 ones that I said yesterday we could definitely use. So, I mean, that's great.
That's awesome.
Go to myjkshow@gmail.com. Send us an email, myjkshow@gmail.com, and we're going to start to use some of these segments beginning on Monday. So every single day, something suggested by, and it might be suggested by you, becomes a segment for the day. So send us an email, myjkshow@gmail.com. In Cooney's Corner, Bob's going to say that this guy deserves more credit.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Yeah, we had a really good interview, I thought, the other day. Was it yesterday? With Doc Rivers, yesterday. And some of the things he said, I just thought were really amazing. And I've been covering coaches for a long time. I've heard 1,000 press conferences. I've, had conversations a million times. Sometimes you just mundanely go through it, and nothing pops out. Coach speak this, that, and the other. But he said two things yesterday that really stood out to me that I thought, okay, yeah, you can see the direct improvement over what he just said. The first thing was the way he handles Tyrese Maxey. And we talked about it a little bit after the interview yesterday, John, and you were right, that I noticed it. He said that he's not coaching Tyrese Maxey just for now, but he's coaching him for the player he could become. And it's funny, talking to Rock yesterday on my way home, it hit him too that he said that. He's like, yeah, he's really looking for this guy to be a player of the future because he knows that's how good he can be. So what Tyrese Maxey has done more this year, and he said it, he was just a floater guy last year. He could drive in the lane because of his quickness, because of his speed. He could get into the lane, but he's mostly a floater guy. We wanted him to be a three-point shooter, a jump shooter, get better at that, and he has. And he's gotten so much better at that and so much better all around in his game. I thought that was really telling. So Doc deserves credit there. And then the other thing was, with Joel Embiid, I think I asked him, what did you see that you wanted to improve, whatever it was? And he said, I thought back to Draymond Green when I used to play against him when he was coaching the Clippers. He said there was a big guy, physical guy that could handle the ball. And I wanted to see what would happen if Joel Embiid did that. So we've noticed it specifically over the last, I would say, month and a half, 2 months. Joel Embiid bringing up the ball and just going to the basket and taking his guy off the dribble. Joel Embiid's been in the league for 7 years now. Nobody else ever told him to do that. And he's doing it really effectively. You know what I mean? His low post game has been terrific this year. He was never told to do that before. Doc Rivers deserves some credit for this team being where they are right now, which is one game out of the number 1 seed, second overall in the Eastern Conference. I thought it was pretty telling yesterday that he brought those things up, and those are direct things you can put your finger on of where this team has improved.
The evolution of his talents.
Yeah.
And a coach plays a big part in that.
Yeah.
Player mostly, right?
Yeah. I mean, because the player has to be receptive to what the coach is telling him.
But the coach is putting him in positions he hasn't put him in before.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a true point guard at Kentucky. He was that combo guy. So for him to take these leaps as a point guard, which is, definitely the most cerebral position on the court, is really encouraging. He's grown a lot this year. I still don't think he's necessarily ready for that. It's hard for a first year playing point guard to kind of lead a team in the playoffs. It's a grown man league historically. If you look back on it, it's rare those things ever happen. Hence why I am demanding some more help here. But he's phenomenal. I mean, I love this kid. He's already one of my favorite Sixers over the last quarter century, and it's not even really close for me.
And, getting back to Embiid just a little bit, it's really easy to come to a team and you say, all right, you have a superstar here. And he said it. He said, I was excited to come here because of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. We all know how the Simmons thing fell apart. But when you come to a team and you have a superstar, your first thought is, all right, superstar, what else do we need? He didn't do that as much. He went to the superstar and said, how can I make him even better? And he's done it. Joel Embiid in the last 2 seasons has grown unbelievably so as a player. I have to give Doc Rivers credit for that. Whether you like him or not, you have to.
And that's where I say it's what I said yesterday, and is that I believe that all the things that Doc Rivers does, there's a lot to be praised. But when the clock's running in a game, I think
that needs improvement.
I think it's his.
Oh, I still.
And
have
I don't know whether it's too long in his coaching career to say that that's ever going to change.
Yeah, something's got to change. I don't know what it is. I would love to be on that bench to see what goes on when they get big leads.
It just happens too often. But,
it does, yeah.
But he's doing a lot of good things. And that's what I like is just a balance in the storytelling. Is that there's a lot of, for people who want to get on Doc about this loss or that loss, I mean, there is a lot of good player development going on.
There's one player that I can think of that didn't develop under Doc, and that was Ben. But other than that, every single player on this team that was here last year, they got better from the year before under Brett Brown. He came in immediately. They got better. This year, they're better than last year.
Seth Curry's playing his best basketball ever.
Yeah, I don't know
George Niang is playing his best ball ever. Andre Drummond is playing fantastic.
I don't know if it's just Doc or it's the fact that, and this was a credit to him also, but he's stacked with assistant coaches.
Yeah,
he's probably got the best bench of assistant coaches in the league.
Arguably, that is the best. It's deep.
Yeah.
Got a deep group of assistants. You'll hear the
Great
Sixers.
assistants. You're right, John. Great point.
You'll hear
Dan
the
Berger's
Sixers
awesome.
tonight. And by the way, those assistants are here because of Doc. They're here because the ownership group would pay them, but they're also here because of Doc. If you have another coach in there, he can't attract these kind of guys to want to work under him.
And if you're Tyrese Maxey and you look around, you've got Doc Rivers, former All-Star point guard, Sam Cassell, a former All-Star point guard.
Yes.
It makes you wonder
Sam's
what the
a
hell
coach
Ben
next
Simmons
year,
was
right?
doing, but
at some point,
probably
he'll be out of here.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I can't believe that this guy is down scouting, observing. I don't know what the hell he's doing. For your Philadelphia Eagles, it is something that concerns me. Maybe it's nothing. We'll get to it next. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Guys, are you still looking for a great Valentine gift for your special someone? Then give her the next best thing to wearing nothing at all. Jamie needs to order these before the weekend. Go to pajamagram.com, pajamagram.com, and order some soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas. They're awesome. They're sensuous. They're smooth, and they feel just like her own soft skin. So she's going to love them. She'll be slipping these on every night. They're soft and luxurious. They'll melt away her stress. You're going to like the look of how she looks in them. And you know what? Pajamagram.com ends up being a gift for you and a gift for her. Best of all, every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging, which means that you don't have to wrap anything. I love that. So you get the free gift packaging. You get the naturally nude pajamas by going to pajamagram.com or text the word GIFT. That is GIFT to 41234. Gift, GIFT, to 41234 to order your naturally nude pajamas. It's fast, it's easy, and delivery is guaranteed by Valentine's Day. Tell them John Kincade from The Fanatic sent you in for your pajamagrams.
The John Kincade Show.
Sir, one more outburst, I will strangle you with my microphone wire. You understand me?
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Stolen by Maxey. Maxey on a drive. Maxey down the lane. Puts it up. Good!
Sixers, Wizards. Tonight at 7. Hear all the action right here on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app.
With NJ Diet, it only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40-plus pounds. Since NJ Diet is contractually guaranteed money-back program, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. NJ Diet uses bioenergetic, personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work that balances your hormones, where the side effect is weight loss. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to keep it off. NJ Diet, all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods, no surgery. Offices close by: Cherry Hill, King of Prussia, Princeton, and now open in Newark, Delaware. Or from home. Live online video consultations. Start your new journey this new year by calling NJ Diet, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com. 40 days, up to 40 pounds. 40 days, up to 40 pounds. 40 days, 40 pounds.
Hi, it's me, Steven Singer. Yep, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. Valentine's Day is here, and it's a day to celebrate that special woman in your life. Show her just how much she's loved. At Steven Singer Jewelers, we're jewelry experts. Better yet, we're love experts. How many times a day do you tell her, I love you? Probably not enough. So I created a way to show your endless love with our new exclusive Ring of Hearts diamond necklace. It's not a ring, but it's a necklace that features a ring of diamond hearts. This necklace is simply breathtaking. It features an unending circle of diamond hearts that will remind her every single day of your love. My exclusive Ring of Hearts diamond necklace is outlined with 15 hearts, each set with a brilliant cut diamond. It's like telling her 15 times a day how much you love her. It's only $128. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com, always with fast and free shipping, or visit me at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philly. Real diamonds from a real jeweler for the real love of your life. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com.
Got a party of 10 coming in. We need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, because they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
This is Unibet, one of Europe's leading betting apps. And this is Nigel.
Hello.
Nigel has just been promoted from head of Unibet Europe to head of Unibet US. Nigel doesn't know anything about American sports.
QB Scramble. That's some sort of American frittata?
Download the app or visit pa.unibet.com. Get $500 risk-free and take advantage of the odds before Nigel figures them out. Unibet. Crazy about the odds.
Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Family. It looks a little different for everyone. For some, it's mom and dad. For others, roommates who feel like family. And for others, it's your significant other, their golfing buddies, your children, a high school soccer team starting lineup, and oh look, they're all taking you up on the offer to stay for dinner, really testing the limits of that phrase, the more the merrier. But no matter where you call home, Geico makes it easy to bundle and save on home and car insurance. Easier than making 3 frozen pizzas and assorted frozen veggies into a cohesive meal.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Our cravings make unreasonable demands. Thankfully, you can use promo code CRAVINGS for $20 off your first $25 7-Eleven delivery 24/7. 7-Eleven, take it to 11. Ends 2/2/22 with promo code on first order for new customers. $25 minimum plus tax and fees. Limited delivery area. See 7 Now app for full terms.
The moment we've been waiting for since September is finally here. In honor of the big game, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? Experience Super Bowl 56 with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want to. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code FANATIC. Get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code FANATIC at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Yes, if you ever wondered, I do talk straight through the brakes.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
You're minutes away from Pat's takes. Pat, you better get working on that.
Oh, we're doing that today?
Yeah, 7:45. You ready?
Here's my take. We should do it tomorrow.
Adam Schefter joins us at 8:10 today. We go into Jamie's world a little bit later on. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, it's Jamie's world. Today, all in the show. You don't want to miss it.
Put that on the list of things John never should do again, all right?
I'll take that under advisement. Let me crumple up your list and throw it right out. Hey, tonight, though, we have a Sixers pregame show, Beers with Bob edition.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Beers with Bob edition tonight, 6-7, Great American Pub, brought to you by Corona. Come on out, drink some Coronas. Andrew and I are going to be there. I'm picking Andrew up tonight, John. So I'm going to grab him around 4:30. We're going to head over.
It's right in his neighborhood. Why does he need to be picked up?
Because I'm a good man. Because he said he was going to Uber over, and then his wife was going to drive him home. But I said, no, I'll pick you up. Don't you Uber.
I told him, enjoy that DD while he's got it.
That's right.
By the way, it was suggested. I got to go to my email and find out who suggested it. I want to make sure they get proper credit here. John suggests yesterday that Bob needs to throw a stone from Andrew's house all the way to the Great American Pub.
Just no problem.
Keep videotaping Bob throwing a stone.
That would take like 2.5 hours.
Like if Bob throws a stone.
You don't know my arm.
Because Bob said yesterday, I could throw it.
I got it.
The things
what are you, Uncle Rico now?
The things that we say we can do on this show, that is one of them. The stone's throw. Coach, you know stuff. What is the stone's throw? I know what the crow flies is because I had to learn that one. I had never heard that.
When the crow flies?
As the crow flies.
As the crow flies?
I had never heard that expression, and everyone down south uses it. Well, as the crow flies, you're like 4 miles away. I'm like, well, wait a minute. It takes like 8 miles to get there. Yeah, but as the crow flies, it's just 4 miles direct. You just have the roads you got to take. The stone's throw. You got to have a good arm. I mean, that would assume
crow's fly means most direct route.
Right, that you don't have to take roads.
Yeah.
That if you were just going straight, I'm like, what does that mean to me, though? I don't care if it's 4 miles.
I'm a human. I have to take roads.
I have to take roads. So it doesn't.
Shouldn't we be flying, though, more now?
I agree.
Like the Jetsons had it all the way back in like the 70s and stuff. That people were flying in their own little things.
Man,
why haven't we gotten that yet?
By the way, I just saw yesterday where a guy writes a big piece, and I don't know if it was in Gawker or something, that George Jetson, his date of birth was 2022. So George Jetson, the character, was born in 2022 because he had a physical where they gave his age on the show, and he was getting a physical. He was 30-something years old, and it was in the 2050s. So they said he had to be born in 2022. So we stick around. We're going to see the flying cars.
All right.
We're going to see the thing. By the way, they had to, just a little known thing in the piece, which I did not know, they moved to the sky because of pollution.
Oh, good.
That's why they lived in the sky.
Yeah, pollution goes up.
Because they avoid, that's what I say, but that was the concept back then. Wouldn't the pollution continue to go up?
What a stupid show.
Hey, why is Julian Lurie at the Senior Bowl with the Eagles coaches and scouts? I mean, you talk about red flags, and I'm going to give you red flag of red flag. I feuded with an NFL owner forever about being too involved with the football people. And seeing that Julian Lurie is down there at the Combine, or whatever you call the Senior Bowl, gives me the creeps. It really concerns me that we are going to have because I think Jeffrey Lurie does a nice job of, like, his ownership tenure in Philly. He's the best owner this city's ever had, and it's not close, in my opinion. It's not close. But for his son, who I then had to research a little bit, to be down there with the coaches and scouts and everything at the Senior Bowl, that gives me the creeps. Because Jeffrey Lurie, to me, I think he's done a fairly good job of staying out of the way. Not a great job, but a fairly good job of staying out of the way. When I see Julian Lurie is now hanging out with, like, Nick Sirianni, this is the next phase. 26-year-old that thinks they know football or thinks they know football players or just wants to be around the guys that do. Man, I'll tell you, that it gives me angst. It does. It gives me angst.
All right, I'll play devil's advocate. Why do you assume he doesn't know football? Why do we assume that, like, well, you just said,
he can know it.
Who thinks he knows football?
Wait a minute. Bob, I've been doing this. I've been covering that league forever, been doing this job forever. I don't know the X's and O's. I don't know what makes it great. Like, I couldn't look at 5 linebackers and say for sure I can tell you who the best one is. That's what I mean when I say doesn't know football. He can know football as a fan. He can know football just like we do. And
he can
probably
know it a lot better than us. Way better. He
might be able to.
His dad owns a professional football team. He could sit in on meetings of head coaches, of coordinators, of all of that stuff.
And that would bother me.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but maybe he has a real good eye. Maybe if I'm a coach and somebody, comes in of Julian Lurie's, whatever, he comes in and he says some things to me like, wow, what about on this play if that happened? And you say, damn, you got a good eye for stuff.
Wow,
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't bother me all that much at all. He's going to be the owner of the team at some point. So is he going down there and saying, Howie, go look at this guy, go do that? No, maybe he just said, I'd like to go and see how this process works. I have no problem with a future owner gathering information.
What do you think, James?
I'm concerned his voice might carry weight.
Correct.
If it's what Bob says, yeah, that's fine. I mean, he is going to be the future owner of the team unless for some reason they decide to sell, which, at some point, look, the Broncos are about to be sold for $4 billion. At some point, you can consider it. I mean, right?
Absolutely, you can
consider
it,
out and just go live on an island somewhere. But, yeah, chances are he's going to take over this team someday. So I just pulled up his LinkedIn profile. He worked for the National Football League offices in some sort of junior rotational program, whatever the hell that is.
I know 2 kids who did it that now work in the NFL.
Oh, yeah?
They work in the NFL. One works in PR.
Okay.
One works in PR.
Yeah, I imagine you do a little bit of every job.
And they get you in, and you get a
I wonder
taste.
how he got in.
I wonder how he got through that
And then
program.
he worked for a company called Overtime as a senior manager of business strategy. He went to Harvard. Obviously, he's not a dumbass. Even if your parents donate money to the school, you still can't be a complete dumbass.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've met.
So, he's probably looking this at, I hope, more from the business side of things than the personnel side of things.
The Senior Bowl has nothing to do with the business side of things.
Well, having a good draft affects business, right?
Yeah.
So
I've never
I'm hoping he's just a sponge. I don't love it if he's being listened to in any sort of war room or personnel discussions.
I hope he's
I'll say
not.
that.
I hope he's not.
I don't think
doing
he's
that.
ready for that.
I don't like it. I know we're supposed to do the whole PC thing of, we don't know him personally, and he might.
No, we don't have to.
We don't.
Shut him up, Pat.
With that said, and that out of the way, I hate nepotism, and this
is nepotism.
screaming of nepotism, right from the top down. Him getting the job to pad his resume in the NFL league office for a job that no one can really describe what it is. It's basically a glorified internship.
No, it's not.
Okay, whatever it is.
But Pat,
I'm sure they really made him work his ass off and really earn everything he got. No, and what's troubling to me is the fact that Jeffrey Lurie was such a great owner, and still is in many ways. One of the best parts about Jeffrey Lurie was the fact that he was hands-off for the longest time. But then when they won the Super Bowl, all of a sudden he decided to be more hands-on, and I haven't really been impressed with him being hands-on. And now that his son, who's going to end up taking over eventually, is weaseling his way in, it irks me.
Wow.
I don't like it.
You use a lot of big words there, like weaseling his way.
Yep, I did.
He is going to be the future owner.
I'm saying it with my chest, Bob.
I'll just say it this way. If somebody's going to take over my team or have a big part of the team, I want them to be as informed as possible.
I want them to hire people.
I want them to be as
I don't know that he doesn't.
I think I do.
You know who I want him to do? I want him to.
I'll talk like that.
I want him to study Dad. I want him to study the things that Dad did well. I don't want him anywhere near my coaches and scouts.
But Jeffrey's been going to Mobile lately, the past couple years. So if
I believe 3 trips. It says.
So if he's studying Dad, and hey, Dad, I'm just going to be your shadow for the next 2 years, 3 years, taking as much as I can from all angles of the company. And maybe we can find a position for me of some kind,
He probably heard about
the
mobile escorts that we were talking about.
That
yesterday.
could be. Hey, so one of the Falcons writers is down there, and I saw him doing coverage. So I reach out and I say, how many owners show up? He says it's not. I'll quote him. He says it's not uncommon for an owner to be there. The owners that are more on the field and hanging out is the more odd thing. He said, but it's not uncommon for an owner. He said, and they usually they fly in, they fly out. They come for a day, come for a day, maybe meet some people, do a little networking, and then fly out. And that could be what happens. Mm-hmm. That could be what happens, too, to give the whole story. But the owners that are walking around on the field, hanging out with their coaches and scouts,
I don't like it.
Is certainly not the absolute norm.
I do not like it.
So, but it's not. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that he's telling them who to draft.
I just don't like the optics of it.
I don't like the optics of it either. And maybe it's unfair to not like the optics. Because maybe he's just there being, as you say, a sponge. Maybe he's just being a sponge.
Yeah, maybe he's got a great football mind. There's nothing telling me that he has a terrible one or nothing that's telling me that he has a great one. Maybe he does. Maybe he wows people with his football knowledge. Maybe he's studied the NFL, and like I said, he's had the privilege, and Pat, you're right, it's the privilege of his dad owning the team and being in on meetings, and if he, took it at 17 years old, was a sponge to meetings about offenses and defenses, and he has a really good football mind. Maybe he has that. I don't know. I'm not going to dismiss it that he shouldn't be there, nor am I going to say he's got a great football mind. But if he's going to be a part of this organization, I don't mind him gathering all the information he can possibly get.
I saw an NFL owner, and I literally would knock heads with him over it, where Arthur Blank, when he bought the Falcons, was on the field, came up to Dan Reeves in the fourth quarter of a game, documented on television, to talk to his coach.
That's too much.
And Dan Reeves said, I need you to get away from me. I need you to go.
That is why Jeffrey Lurie is so good.
He literally is on the field. And then when Jim Mora was coaching a game, after Coach Reeves got fired by, because he wasn't going to give that kind of access, there was a game where Jim Mora was talking on a cell phone and got in trouble with an assistant coach because you're not allowed to use a phone on the field. Mm-hmm. He was using a cell phone. Coach goes, what are we going to do here in the fourth quarter of a game? What are we doing?
Well, how do you know he was talking to Arthur Blank and not his car warranty
This was on the sideline. He went up to Jim Mara and goes, well, what's going on here? What was that all about?
Yeah, maybe the cell phone thing, the car warranty expired.
Oh my gosh. It just gives me bad odds.
Well, I mean, on the positive spin on it, Stephen Jones has been a pretty good
I think he's a good draft. He runs a good draft.
Drafter of the Cowboys. They're still a laughable loser organization, but it's not like he's been, a laughable GM.
If I'm not mistaken,
they've got some talent down there.
If I'm not mistaken, though, and I may be wrong, Stephen Jones, like his father, was a football player and even played in college. I guess I have a bias to that. Like, look, I can know all the football that I think I know.
Yeah.
I can sit with someone who played college football at a level and go, okay, they could talk circles around me with some of the X's and O's.
But that's not what the Eagles are, Yeah. I mean, him and Alec Hallaby are going to be running this organization.
Jamie, I was literally just about to bring up his name, and that's one of the reasons why this rubs me the wrong way is the fact that you already had Jeffrey Lurie hire his son's friend, who looks like he designed Facebook.
It's Alec Hallaby, yeah.
Well, good for him if he did.
He didn't, though. He didn't.
Okay.
He's just trying to weasel his way into an organization, and now you got the son doing it.
Hey, Park Sportsbook app has a great offer for you. New customers sign up now. Get your first bet risk-free. Visit parkscasino.com/PA. Promo code Fanatic. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Coach?
Yeah. Real quick, though, before we get to Coach, he wanted me to hit the breaking news sounder for this, and I refuse. So everybody out there that's listening that gets pissed off when you hear breaking news sounders and it's not breaking news, Coach wanted that for you, and I said no.
All right.
My fault.
Coach?
We need you on that wall, Pat.
Coach, did you consider to be breaking newsworthy?
This report out of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, no.
Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow this morning.
No one cares.
That there will be another 6 more weeks of winter.
It's time for you to shut the up.
Okay.
That's it.
Coach, there it is. 6 more weeks of winter.
Coach. Yeah. No
But as
stuff.
Jamie said,
it's all crap.
Jamie, the smartest thing that you've said today, maybe, I mean, is and you've said a lot of smart things. Of course, I don't want to do it. Is March 16th is 6 weeks from now.
Yeah. Like what?
We're gonna have winter. We're going to have winter through March 16th, probably.
Yeah.
I kind of do want to live in a world, though, where a groundhog decides the weather. I think
Keep
that'd be
on
awesome.
scratching. There you go.
I don't know. The people over at Gobbler's Knob are probably not happy with this conversation.
Is that it?
Gobbler's Knob?
Where it is.
That's where it is.
I've seen that video.
What?
Are you serious? You didn't know that?
What?
Yeah, Gobbler's Knob is where the Punxsutawney and then
I
they
didn't
do
know.
the whole ceremony.
What?
It's called Gobbler's
Gobbler's
Knob.
Knob,
They
yeah.
knob on gobblers.
Is that on Lobster Tube?
Okay, are you keep on scratching?
We're not making it up, man.
Okay, I'm getting
Coach knows stuff, but sometimes so does Pat.
Gobbler's
Knob, man. Look it up.
Jamie, have you ever heard this?
I think that's not safe for work if I search
You don't
that.
gobble on some knobs?
Yeah, don't go. Don't say. Hey, let's get to Pat's takes.
Oh, jeez.
Let's do it.
With
I tried
or
to tell you
without.
we should do it tomorrow.
Either way, it's time for Pat's Takes.
I figured with a dramatic pause it might make it better, but no, it just made it worse. This first story will be big with the sneaker community. If you've ever headed to one of the big sneaker retailers, then you know the usual course of action. You kind of walk in, and like a few seconds later, you're hounded by a guy in a Tim Donaghy outfit asking you if you need anything. For the residents of Brampton, Ontario, they certainly wish they had said no when they were asked if they needed help by Darian Kidd, because Kidd videotaped himself going into the back of the stock room and having sex with shoes.
Stop! What? Okay, keep doing it. Yeah!
What?
Yeah. You can apparently find the video. He put it on Snapchat. And obviously, when it's on the internet, it lives forever.
Okay.
So, he was having sex with the shoes. We don't kink shame on this show.
I was just going to say, I mean, if dendrophilia is a real thing, then a shoe's not that far of a stretch.
But, look, let's call it what it is. I mean, this guy's a super freak. He's a super freak. He was super freaky. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of shoes?
It was a high top, low top?
Temptation Sin.
Yeah. Look,
Air Maxes?
Whatever,
What are we talking?
Whatever gets you off. I don't have a problem with that. But the problem
Air foams? Composites?
The problem is he was then giving it to the customer. He wasn't just simply having
Giving
sex
it?
with
You
shoes.
mean the shoe?
He was having sex with the shoe and then selling it to the customer. He wasn't taking the shoe home with him.
You're kidding me.
So he wasn't having a relationship with the shoe. It was a hit it and quit it type situation, and he was just passing it off. That's the problem I have with Darian Kidd.
That's the problem.
Pat,
Because somebody
come to
sit
that.
there and have sex with a shoe and then never call them again.
did somebody catch him?
Yeah, when he put it on on TikTok or whatever social
that's
media
freaking
site.
Weird.
He got caught, and it actually required the company, who I'm not going to mention because it's not their fault about this, but they put out an official statement saying, the actions weren't tolerated.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
The lesson here, though, gentlemen, is buy shoes online because you never know when the Ed Hockley lookalike has a foot fetish.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, next time they ask
you
if you need
just
help.
gave something away, though, the Ed Hockley lookalike.
I thought I gave it away when I said a guy in a Tim Donaghy outfit.
Yeah, that could be, too.
Trying to
Very
make it
good.
obvious without saying
There
it.
we go.
Okay, when was the last time you guys were at a store or standing in line and you just simply left?
Yesterday.
You got tired of it.
I thought about it this morning.
I've done it this calendar year.
So, Bob, real quick, where were you at yesterday?
Car wash.
Okay, and then Jamie, I know where you were, and it was because someone was getting cigarettes and they didn't have their card.
I was, running late, and 4 failed attempts at a swipe at the machine. I had to go, and
It's bad enough because it takes 5 minutes for the person to find it. Because it's never the simple pack. It's always like the bougie
It was
pack.
awful.
Well, the wait just sometimes isn't worth it. You guys found that out, and then John, you said this year. Where were you?
I was at a drugstore type chain.
Okay, so sometimes you've had enough. You grab your things, you go home. You're cursing the fact you just wasted your time the whole ride home. Well, that's what happened to Andreas Shackelford. No relation to Charles Shackelford. He had enough. But Shackelford wasn't standing in line for Asher Roth tickets. He wasn't waiting at the DMV. Shackelford was on trial for the murder of his wife. That's right. It was the first day of the trial, and Shackelford, look, he gave it a few good hours, but when the jury broke for recess, he just said, F this, I'm out. He told his lawyer, quote, I don't mind being here, but I ain't missing Family Feud. I have my limits, man. A warrant was issued for Shackelford's arrest, and when they called him up, he said the court system should be on trial for wasting his damn time. So he hasn't been caught yet, but yeah, he's on the run.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah, he just walked out.
He's on trial for murder, and I guess he's on bond. He had bond so he could leave.
Wow. I don't know if he figured it was a situation of like, hey, just call me, let me know what they say. But he just walked out after maybe like 3 or 4 hours.
It's a power move.
It really is, because he stayed less than you would stay for jury duty.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Real power move by Andreas. And then finally, today in history, 1876, the National League was formed. We don't know if we'll see it this year, but it was formed. 1964, a couple of legends entered the Baseball Hall of Fame as Burley Frimes, Heine Munish, and Miller Huggins were elected.
Heine.
I'm not going to pretend to have ever heard of them before, but their names are fun to say.
I used to have their jerseys.
You watched them play.
Heine.
In 1967, the ABA was formed. The leader was Jackie Moon. And then in 2020, Big Red got his first and only Super Bowl championship.
There you go.
And that's Pat Six.
Very good. Good job,
Way to go, Pat.
By the way, the comparisons between John Stephen Jones, the son of Jerry Jones, who is the executive vice president, CEO, and director of player personnel for the Cowboys. He was a 4-year player, actually played 4 years, and was a letterman for the Razorbacks.
Okay.
And like with a football background. And I'm biased against people like me. Like a guy who played high-level college football, I always think he's going to know more. When he's looking at a football game, he's going to know more about it.
Sure, but it's still nepotism is my
No,
is
I
the
get you.
bottom line.
No, I get you.
Yeah,
But
so
Stephen Jones has done a freaking good job.
he's done well.
That team drafts really well.
They draft well. They don't win well.
I got you.
So-
But the talent, though, everybody
Sure,
always says,
yeah.
well, you'd love to have their talent.
Yeah.
He knows how to get it done, so we'll get to some of that. All right, we have a lot coming your way in the second half of the show. We'll go into Jamie's world. We'll find out what Adam Schefter's up to. And I want somebody held accountable within the Eagles organization. And it's not Julian. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, guys, Valentine's Day, it's coming up. And if you're in a relationship and you want to make it special time, but you've been experiencing low energy and decreased libido, call Dr. Avidan Appel at Iron Mountain Men's Health. At Iron Mountain Men's Health, they create custom treatment plans that are safe and effective. Don't overlook the importance of a customized treatment, guys, because that plan, it's every man is different with different symptoms and body chemistry. If you've tried other options and they weren't working, it's likely because you weren't getting the right treatment. So stop wasting your time and money on pills that you order online that turn out to maybe be 35% less effective. Set up free consultation at Iron Mountain Men's Health today. Make the change for her this Valentine's Day. It's simple, and they offer financing for qualified customers. Call or make an appointment today at ironmountainmenshealth.com. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.
The John Kincade Show.
Talking sense into people isn't really my thing. In fact, I'm better at the opposite.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
When you're in the mood for comfort food, Wawa has you covered. Try our savory brisket, made from the finest cuts of beef, hand-trimmed and slowly braised to perfection. Savor the richness of a tangy barbecue and layers of tender beef. Enjoy your brisket on a brioche bun or in a hearty bowl. Wintertime is the right time for barbecue brisket from Wawa. Order yours today, in-store or on the Wawa app. Gotta have a Wawa. Come in from the cold for something hot and comforting from Wawa. Savor the handcrafted salty sweetness of a toasted caramel crunch latte, topped with a caramel drizzle and crunchy caramelized sugar. Or cozy up to the warm, inviting vanilla sugar and spice aromas of our cinnamon bun coffee, bursting with a delicious fresh baked flavor. Treat yourself and try them both this winter to create your very own getaway to deliciousness. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Rob Jenners, and I am a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I've been living my dream in radio, production, and sports broadcasting for 20 years now, thanks to CSB with the nation's most successful sports broadcasting program. We're talking sports talk, play-by-play, color commentary, get trained and get coached by the pros in just 8 to 16 weeks with a campus nearby in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. CSB Media Arts Center. Visit GoCSB.com.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I'm Taylor Morgan, a proud CSB grad. The instruction from true media pros and the connections that I made spawned a career that's lasted more than 30 years. What you can learn in just 2 to 4 months at CSB Media Arts Center can set you on a whole new path. Train on site or online with classes in radio, TV, podcasting, video, all that is media. There's a campus in nearby Cherry Hill. Get your start. Visit GoCSB.com.
Vivid Seats. Your ticket to hold on to your hat, edge of seat sitting, bases loaded, 2 outs, half-court buzzer-beating, 60-yard Hail Marys. Hear that pin dropping? Can they do it? They did. For your team, it was nothing. Get tickets and earn rewards with Vivid Seats. Life happens live.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch tear in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Sometimes it seems the only thing people can agree on is to disagree. If you're tired of wasting time fighting over the thermostat, it's time you looked at a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system with whole-house air filtration from your Delaware Valley trained comfort specialist. These new trained systems provide even, consistent heat throughout your home, along with cleaner, healthier air. For comfort and savings everyone can agree on. Visit train.com to find a Delaware Valley independent train comfort specialist near you. It's hard to stop a train.
Love. It makes us do crazy things, like being the first one to say, I love you, or adopting a cat together when you're more of a dog person. Celebrate the madness of love with a perfect Valentine's gift from Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, half-carat diamond heart pendants in your choice of white, yellow, or rose gold are just $399.99, a savings of $400. Show her you're smitten with the gift of gorgeous jewelry at our best prices of the season. Hurry, Valentine's Day is Monday, February 14th. Shop at hellsberg.com or visit a store near you.
The big game is finally here, and PropSwap has hundreds of tickets listed at the best odds. On PropSwap, you can buy and sell sports bets while sitting on your couch, and bettors from across the country are cashing in their championship futures right now, like Jamie from New York, who sold a $100 25-1 Cincinnati championship ticket for $1,000. The buyer got great odds, and Jamie made 10 times his money. I wish it was me, but sadly it was not. To find the best odds, join the real sports bettors and download the free PropSwap app now. They've also got tickets on the big games, MVP, player to score the first touchdown, who's going to win the game, and much more. Last year, PropSwappers cashed in big when Brady took home the MVP trophy. To find the best odds, join the real sports bettors and download the free PropSwap app now. PropSwap is where America buys and sells sports bets.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball and Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Hey, Philly, this is Tobias Harris, and you're listening to the John Kincade Show.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let's have a big night tonight, Tobias. You
He's
too,
been
Joel.
good lately.
We need a big night tonight. Should be a big one against Washington. Looking forward to going down to the game tonight. 8 a.m. sponsor of the John Kincade Show is our friends at Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. Cousin Matt's got some tickets, so I'm going to go down tonight. What about the I know Connor has not decided who's going with him, but Pat said no, they are work friends.
I thought me and Cousin Matt were friends, but apparently not.
Well, Cousin Matt
have
better.
any friends?
Cousin Matt better not go out of the family if he's got Sixers good seats.
Bob, I know you sit here and you say there's a guy who's probably got a lot of friends, a lot of things to do. No, not really.
Well,
Bob.
besides me,
no, free.
We're going to go
much
to a game together this week.
Schedule's wide open.
We're going to a game together.
You and
this
Matt have
weekend.
business together.
Apparently, well, I don't know if we do anymore.
That's good.
Not after this betrayal, this act of betrayal.
Connor says he doesn't have a seatmate yet, but if any girl wants to come with him, his DMs are open.
Why can't a guy go with him? That's kind of being.
Considering how he dresses, I bet that there'd probably be a lot of interest there too.
Somehow there's a gobbler's knob joke in there, and I can't quite put it together, but it's there.
You can't put it together. Adam Schefter joins us in just a few moments.
Adam had a big week.
Yeah. He scooped the goat.
He did? And we're gonna,
I saw somebody, OB, who listened, said, can we stop calling these guys insiders? And this was before it broke, and I was like, just give it a little time. He may be more inside than we ever realized.
He is right.
I wonder when Brady originally wanted to announce it.
Probably after his signing bonus cashed in 2 days.
I would think he wanted to do it, and then he gets called out on.
And then it's like, all right, let's wait a couple days.
I think Adam cost him $15 million.
I think the Bucks will probably make it right.
He still gets that.
They're not. Oh, I thought he did.
No, I thought so too.
There's no way he announces it if he could wait.
Yeah, I read that it still comes out of it. It's part of something, a signing bonus, whatever. So he'll still get it. It's just that date is when he will.
Because then he can take Adam to court. Right?
No, he can't.
No.
Why can he take him to court?
I don't know. If some $15 million was.
What do you mean? Take him to court?
Yeah, I don't. All right, maybe not.
He got
court.
information.
$15 million.
He could be mad at him.
He could be mad at him, but if Adam Schefter gets the information that Tom Brady's retiring, and by the way, all the people that trolled him for 2 days,
$15 million,
saying that you jumped the gun, you were wrong. No, he wasn't. He was right. Hey, if the Eagles' 2022 season plan is to move forward with Jalen Hurts, I want someone to be held accountable for the decision. This regime, not the coaching staff, even though they would have a part of it, has had plenty of second chances to get it right. This decision, though, is too huge to mess up. It's a decision of such importance that it needs ramifications. And if the Eagles brass stands up and tells us, yep, Hurts is the guy, we're going with Hurts, it should be a prove-it ultimatum for both the player, who it would be, and the general manager. Because you'll never be in a better position to fix the quarterback position than this year. And if you don't, you may never be close enough again to fix it adequately. So, once again, if the organization comes out and says, yep, Jalen Hurts is our guy, we're going with Jalen Hurts, and we don't need to address the quarterback position. And then you find out 10 games into next year, 12 games into next year, and you're like, wow, boy, we missed the boat on this one. I believe the general manager should be held accountable. Bob?
Well, yeah. If
they make, because this is if they're going to be all in on Jalen Hurts, it's going to be a major miscalculation if they're wrong, because this is the year you can fix it. You're going to have the draft capital and everything.
Unless you can't. Unless you don't have a dancer. Yeah, like Jamie's talked about Russell Wilson. Well, Seattle, what if they don't want to dance with you? I don't pick another name. Derek Carr.
Or
maybe
the draft.
Or the draft. But maybe they see the draft that these players, in their mind, that these quarterbacks aren't the guys to move forward with. Look, I was okay with, in the middle of the season, if they were to say that they were going to use Jalen Hurts as the bridge to get the new quarterback for one more year. I don't think they're going to come out and tell us our plans. I wonder what they've told Jalen Hurts for his offseason. Like, well, we're going to look, or you're the guy, or anything. Maybe they didn't tell him a thing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think we'll know our answer before next year. The only thing is, we better know our answer by next year. He's still going to be on trial
because he's going to need a contract next year.
Well, this next month is going to be very interesting. It was just 2 days ago or 3 days ago, a year ago, that Stafford was traded. February can be an active month, and that's kind of what I want to ask Adam about. What's our timeline here of these guys? Derek Carr's still technically under contract. Aaron Rodgers still technically has a year left. Russell, obviously, Steve Weiss tells us, is 50-50. What's kind of the timeline for learning more on these situations?
You're hearing Carolina may make a move on Carolina and on Cleveland.
Oh, their desperation is stinky.
And they may make moves on Jimmy Garoppolo.
I could see that. Tampa Bay now has entered the mix.
I think that's the place.
But their cap is hell.
See, I think that's where Jimmy Garoppolo goes. I think he's the Buccaneers quarterback.
Yeah, so
I think it makes sense.
That's my question, Adam, is what's our timeline here on because it's not like they're true free agents. A lot of these guys are going to be trades, and it's going to be an interesting offseason.
Pat, do you have any thoughts on this?
I didn't think that Garoppolo would follow Brady, but man, that does make a lot of sense.
It makes sense to me because they're in cap hell.
It makes. I didn't know exactly where he would go, but that's a really good landing spot. And we talked about this, when the Brady news came out. They're not going to go with Kyle Trask.
No,
they're
can't.
just not.
Yeah.
So they're going to go out and get a veteran quarterback, and
I think that
no
one
state
makes
income
sense.
tax.
And now we're hearing this morning,
location.
if you're with Jim Harbaugh being away on National Signing Day, interviewing for an NFL job, the poor kids who've already committed to Michigan, you're just getting screwed by a narcissist. I mean, it's all you're doing. By the way, this has never happened in the college football. That a head coach on National Signing Day is out interviewing for NFL jobs. It's unheard of.
Okay, let me ask you, though. Is it any different than a coach in college football after National Signing Day leaving for another head coaching job in college?
This has just never happened. The head coach.
Yeah.
I'm talking about position coaches ditch all the time.
The head coach after signing day leaving for a more lucrative job, if you will.
Usually it's the assistants that will.
No, but I'm talking head.
No,
it has happened. In college football, it's happened before, where the head coach after signing day leaves for another job.
Okay, this is the I'm just going by ESPN.com that they've never had. And a college coach has never been absent from a National Signing Day.
Yeah, this one's a little different, though, in the sense of now there's two National Signing Days.
Yeah, they had the first and the second one. All those kids who signed in the first one.
Yeah.
Usually position coaches are the ones having to cover signing day for like 25 years, believe me, against my will many times. The position coaches are usually the ones that lead.
Yeah.
The coordinators, those type of things. But now they're saying that Matt Rule could leave Carolina.
No.
And could go take the Michigan job.
Why would you?
Yeah,
because he's failing in the NFL.
No, but this is like...
But he's failing.
But he's only had a couple of years.
Yeah, this rhetoric that he's going to leave because he's failing. You don't think he wants to right the ship? Also, he has way more time on his hands in the NFL. Way more time than being a college coach. He has probably less headaches because he's dealing with men and not boys, and he's getting paid more. Like, why would you want to go to Michigan? And not only that, but if he fails next year and he gets fired in Carolina, he's going to have his pick of any job he wants in college.
He was
football.
almost fired this year.
Yeah, but my point is he's going to have his pick. Like, he doesn't have to go to Michigan. There'll be other really desirable locations he could go. The idea that Matt Rule is going to jet for Carolina for college again, I just don't see it.
So you don't buy it?
Not at all.
What do you think, Bob? You think you think he cuts and runs?
I don't know.
I never put anything past anybody with a big payday on the line.
I really don't. I hate
no, it
the
wouldn't
whole...
necessarily be a bigger payday. He's got the big payday.
Well, then
he'd be ditching for.
Well, he wouldn't be getting fired in a year.
Correct.
Yeah, and but he's not making less either. I hate the whole college coaching situation. I mean, it's kids. And for you, like especially like the way a Brian Kelly handled Notre Dame and the way guys leave after recruit. I understand you're always looking for a bigger and better job, but the college has to do something better about it. The timing of it sucks. The fact that you go to a bowl game and your head coach that's been there with you, if you're a senior, isn't there,
doesn't
sucks.
finish the year.
Yeah, I mean it does. It stinks. It's got to be. It has to be addressed.
Hey, when you're on public transit, be sure to look up and speak up. If you see something suspicious, report it by texting Go 1776, calling pound 1776, or the Look Up Speak Up app. Supposedly, the owner had to be intervened with by some football people to say don't fire Rule after 2 years. 2 years doesn't seem fair.
Not when
it just doesn't.
No, 3 is probably fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair. I mean, 2's just not enough.
I mean, Flores got 3, right?
Flores got 3.
I think 3 should, most instances, be a minimum.
Yeah, in colleges, they give coaches 3 years so you can get your own classes
Recruits
in there.
yeah.
Right, exactly. Professional
but
level.
Kind of the same with draft picks. Like,
yeah, I would put it at the same at the professional level, too.
By the way, the getting just absolutely inundated with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was Julian.
I've heard that.
Wait, say that again?
That Julian Lurie.
Yeah.
That people who blame Jeffrey Lurie for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, it's actually Julian Lurie who was pushing
Stanford
the big J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
I've heard
I don't know that, though. That to me
I've heard it. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, the amount of people inundating me with it, again, I'd have to believe it's sort of like the whole thing with the Brian Flores story. He's got to have a lot more than Bill Belichick. I hope he does. He has to have a lot more than Bill Belichick texting him. Then because Bill Belichick doesn't speak for the Giants and doesn't in any way have anything to do with the Giants, that's just hearsay. A court would throw that out in a second. He better have something more than that.
I would think they do. And Brian Flores is making the rounds today. He was on CBS this morning. He's
from CBS, Minnesota Viking receiver.
Nate Burleson.
Nate Burleson.
He's awesome, by the way.
Nate's awesome.
I'm shocked he hasn't moved up to an A team yet.
Hey, coming up on the Comcast Business Hotline, every day in business is a big day. Comcast Business keeps you ready for what's next. Our own Adam Schefter joining us. And Adam, we were just talking about the Brian Flores story, which hits yesterday, and not many things could, sort of take Tom Brady's official retirement off the front page. Good job reporting on that story, by the way, is where we start. You took some heat for a couple of days, and you had it right from the beginning.
Yeah, there was a lot of heat there, and it was, you just do your best to tune it out and do your job. But as a human being, you obviously are aware of some of it, and you hear some of it, and so it's only human. So is what it was, and I'm glad that Tom got to do it the way that he wanted to do it. And we go from there.
The Flores story brings a lot of things. We've had a lot of people. We've been discussing it this morning, and I have a lot of our listeners who are attorneys saying that they hope he has more evidence actual evidence to be able to back up some of these claims. What are you hearing in NFL circles about the case? And since it's a class action, do you think we're going to see other coaches line up shoulder to shoulder with him to be a part of this?
It's a great question, and what I could say is that I've heard that other people potentially could be joining the lawsuit. I don't know that they will or they won't, but that has been discussed. It's not the first time I've heard that. We'll see if that is indeed the case. But look, I think it was a seminal moment in where we're at in hiring and how the process works. And Brian Flores took an incredibly courageous stand to do what he did, and he knew what he was risking. I think there are people who feel like this will obviously impact his ability to or not coach again. And he did this on a day where he was interviewing for the New Orleans Saints head coaching job, amazingly enough. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And not only that, but is a finalist for the Houston Texans job. Now, the most, one of the smartest things the Texans could do would be to hire Brian Flores right now. I don't know that they would, considering all the circumstances, but they're in an interesting position here at this time. And so, to me, it was a very, very brave stand. And I know we were doing it. We were talking about Tom Brady's retirement on NFL Live, and as I said to a couple of people over the last 24 hours, if I had said to you that Tom Brady would announce his retirement, we would start NFL Live on ESPN at 4 o'clock, and we would not mention Tom Brady's name for the final 45 or 50 minutes of the show. What would it take for that to happen on the day that Tom Brady retired? Well, Brian Flores dropping the lawsuit that he did alleging racism in the NFL's hiring practices.
Shefty, do you and other people around the NFL, did you see this day coming over the year? I mean, this has been a problem for years, obviously, and now it's, I don't want to say coming to a head because that degrades it a little bit, but this is going to get real quick. Did you see this coming, or did you think people would just hold off because of exactly what you said, the way it's going to affect their profession?
It's an interesting question, Bob. What I would say to that is this: as we're talking about the news yesterday and assessing the lawsuit, I thought to myself, it was inevitable that the day was going to come when something like this happened. How much longer are we going to continue to sit back and have black candidates passed over every year, qualified black candidates, at a time when there's one black head coach in the NFL? Like, how long is that going to go on before somebody speaks out? And people have been speaking out, but nothing gets done.
Mm-hmm.
So who's taking it to the next level, and how are they doing that? Right?
The thing is, if he is a candidate still, as I'm reading this morning, he's still an active candidate with two teams, then that means two teams were willing to hire him, or is he like what made him do it yesterday? Any idea about what made him pull the trigger on this yesterday?
Well, my guess would be that the events of last week were humiliating enough that he took that as the final straw. That's only what I could guess.
Okay.
The text exchange that he had with Bill Belichick that was contained in the lawsuit might have been basically the final straw.
Adam, you might not know this, but how would you classify Brian Flores and Bill Belichick's relationship? I know that they were together a long time. Is it something where you think they communicate regularly, or is this a mistake you could see happening where a wrong Brian is texted?
Well, I could see that happening. Like, I've got people on my phone, and I'll text a Mike, and it goes to a different Mike, or
you guys have to start doing it by last name. Jamie does this too. I organize mine by last name, so I couldn't have this happen.
But are they particularly close to this day?
Well, that's a good way of doing it, by last name. Are they? I'm sure that Bill keeps up with all his former assistants. I'm sure he's tracking the hiring process as it was evident in the text message exchange. And he clearly knew or had heard things about what was going on in Buffalo, because he sent a text to Brian thinking it was Brian Daboll and it was Brian Flores. I mean, yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah. So I think everybody's done that. I've sent inadvertent texts to people, and I've gotten inadvertent texts, and and I think Brian Flores got that, and that's got to be very, very discouraging and disappointing to get a text like that, knowing that you're interviewing for the job. Now, Bill said in the text that they're naming Brian Daboll, right?
Right. Unless there's a trail where they can prove that the Giants had already made that decision, it's just hearsay.
Well,
right?
Here's the thing. Somebody said this to me last night. They said this. Now, I'm not telling you that Brian Flores is right or wrong.
Okay.
And this is one example. But somebody said to me last night, they brought up an example. They said the year that Pittsburgh lost Bill Cowher, everybody, and I don't know if you remember this, I certainly do, everybody said Russ Grimm was getting the job. This was pre-Rooney Rule.
I remember that.
Everybody said Russ Grimm was getting the job. It's over. He's the guy. And everybody was just waiting for him to officially be hired. And what happened was Mike Tomlin was the last one in the door, and the Steelers were so blown away that they felt like they had to hire this young coach named Mike Tomlin. And so while everybody was waiting for Russ Grimm, Mike Tomlin blew the doors off his last interview and got the job. And so the way that somebody said it to me was, even if the Giants were expecting to go in the direction of Brian Daboll, it's very possible that Brian Flores could have gone in on Friday.
Correct.
And impressed them enough to win them over. But the issue there is that sounds, in theory, all reasonable, logical, plausible. But there have just been too many instances where black head coaches have been passed over.
There are 5 jobs left, right, that have to be filled. Mm-hmm. Do you think we're going to see one candidate, African-American, 2? Like, how do you think this is going to shake out? Any idea of those? And could Flores actually still grab a job while he's going to actively sue the NFL?
Yeah, well, I told you, to me, the smartest thing, I think Josh McCown. I think Josh McCown is going to be a great head coach one day. Okay, but with the dynamics being what they are right now, what do you think the reaction would be in Houston if they hired? Like, Josh is great. He's gonna be a star head coach, and Houston may hire him, and it wouldn't be a bad choice. But to hire Brian Flores for a team that is maligned as they are would be a stroke of genius.
It certainly would change the narrative. Hey, Adam, we appreciate your time this morning. Good reporting on this, and pretty good week for you. That's a pretty good story to be able to get. That was a good one. Congratulations on that. Thank you, buddy. There's Adam Schefter joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day.
I think the kids are the source. I think that little Benny Brady.
You think Benny Brady?
He's diming out to Shefty.
You mean
he got Dad's phone and looked up Shefty and said,
"You think the Bridget Moynihan's son?"
I think I think it's Bridget Moynihan.
It could be Bridget.
I think the son
Benny
told
spilled
Bridget.
the Bridget.
They were shooting blue bloods yesterday.
Everybody put on your tinfoil hats now and let's discuss.
What I'm gonna say is that what I took away from the beginning of that is Adam was really hurt by the slander against him.
Yeah.
Well, nobody.
I know, but you heard that though in his voice.
I didn't doubt Adam for a second.
No, I didn't doubt it at all.
I
said he's not going with this.
Brady's gonna be pissed,
and Brady's going to be pissed. But I took it. But he was hurt by.
Adam's not going to run with something that isn't right.
Why would they? Believe me, and I can tell you, they ran that by other people, double check, triple check. So good job.
Jeff Darlington was tied to it too.
Jeff did a good job with it too. So we will talk about the biggest story of the day, the Ben Simmons story, and our thoughts on it coming up next. Plus, we go into Jamie's world. Prepare yourself. It's the John Kincade Show here on The Fanatic. You hear everyone say, I hate Steven Singer. Well, his competition says they hate Steven Singer all the time because he makes getting the perfect gift for Valentine's Day simple. And his beautiful new gold-dipped Emerald City rose is awesome. A real rose dipped and trimmed, pure 24-karat gold. You got those sparkling deep green petals. I'm going to tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. And there are many other colors that you can choose to pair it with if you wish. And they start at just $59. And they all come with his lifetime guarantee. Steven Singer's got you covered. And with Valentine's Day right around the corner, you want to make your move now. What I want you to do is go to IHateStevenSinger.com today. Get your Steven Singer Emerald City green 24-karat gold dip rose before they're gone. You are going to get fast and free shipping to arrive in time for Valentine's Day, so your job is done. There's real jewelers, real roses for your real love right at Steven Singer Jewelers. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com.
The John Kincade Show.
It's about nothing. Everybody's doing something. We'll do nothing.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Join Bob Cooney and Andrew Salchunas today from 6 to 7 p.m. at Great American Pub, 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken for the 97.5 The Fanatic Sixers pregame show. Beers with Bob edition, presented by Corona. Enter for a chance to win Sixers tickets and play the song t-shirts and enjoy 350 Corona bottles and Corona Premier drafts. For more details, visit the events page on 975thefanatic.com.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I'm Taylor Morgan, a proud CSB grad. The instruction from true media pros and the connections that I made spawned a career that's lasted more than 30 years. What you can learn in just 2 to 4 months at CSB Media Arts Center can set you on a whole new path. Train on site or online with classes in radio, TV, podcasting, video, all that is media. There's a campus in nearby Cherry Hill. Get your start. Visit GoCSB.com.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Rob Jenners, and I am a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I've been living my dream in radio, production, and sports broadcasting for 20 years now, thanks to CSB with the nation's most successful sports broadcasting program. We're talking sports talk, play-by-play, color commentary, get trained and get coached by the pros in just 8 to 16 weeks with a campus nearby in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. CSB Media Arts Center. Visit GoCSB.com.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
The 2005 Texas Longhorns began the season ranked number 2 and stayed there all season. Their defense allowed only 16 points per game, while their Vince Young-led offense averaged 50. The Longhorns went on to face USC in the BCS National Championship game against top-ranked USC, winning 41-38 in what many consider one of the greatest college football games ever played.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Teams that win college bowls have great recruits, and great recruiting starts with great conversations. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people faster. Go to linkedin.com/sports to post your job for free. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to hire a professional voice actor and pay him absurd amounts of money to say,
I like this product.
Not sure why that was better. I mean, I'm a professional too, but we didn't pay him to say the business part, so back to me. Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. Sorry, I know hearing me say it was a bit of a letdown. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Is your job leaving you just over broke and out of hope? Maybe this is your year to get into IT. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life in months, not years. Best of all, we've slashed tuition, and financial aid is available to those who qualify. Attend classes day or night, live online from the comfort of your home. Go to My Computer Career and fill out the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
I'm here at the Big Game headquarters, Total Wine and More, stocking up for the big celebration. The perfect bourbon, local craft beer.
Forgetting something?
Oh yeah, Cabernet, seltzers.
The day after is Valentine's Day.
Whoa, new game plan.
You got this. Total Wine can help you score the perfect bubbly, too.
Thank you, I would have been.
You sure would have.
Total Wine and More. Pickup and delivery available. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Now through February 2nd, join a clean and spacious Planet Fitness for zero enrollment and only $10 a month. With tons of equipment and free fitness training, it's the perfect place for everybody to work out.
Even me, mother of very fussy triplets and one very colicky husband.
Especially you, Supermom. You'll release endorphins and have more energy.
I remember having energy.
Start feeling fit-tacular today. Join in club or at planetfitness.com. Zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends February 2nd. See club for details.
You want it warmer. He wants it colder. So you turn the thermostat up. He turns it down. Warmer, colder, up, down. Where does it end? With a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system with whole-house air filtration from your Delaware Valley Train Comfort Specialist. These new Train systems provide even, consistent heat throughout your home, along with cleaner, healthier air for comfort and savings everyone can agree on. Visit Train.com to find a Delaware Valley Independent Train Comfort Specialist near you. It's hard to stop a train.
All right, let's get down to business with the Park Sportsbook app. There are so many ways you can wager. And how about the tonight? Your Sixers, a 9.5-point home favorite against the Wizards without Bradley Beal. Not bad. Seems like a big, big number, though, to ask them to cover. We got an early line for the big game. The Rams are 4.5-point favorites over Cincinnati. I told you yesterday I did a teaser with that and teased it up to Cincinnati getting 10.5. That line just seems suspicious to me. I don't know where to go on it because it seems too easy, like you're taking candy from a baby. The Park Sportsbook app allows you to wager on more than just lines, more than just over-unders or game spreads, individual player performances, and more. And your first bet will be refunded risk-free up to $500 should you lose if you use the promo code FANATIC. You're going to love the Park Sportsbook app. It's awesome, and it's game time. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Yes, I'm a seasoned broadcaster, but I've also got a fine head of hair.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. We appreciate you being a part of the show. Remember, tonight, Sixers pregame show, Beers with Bob edition, coming to you where?
Great American Pub, Conshohocken. Andrew and I will be there bright and early, probably around 4:45. Hang out for a little while. Presented by Corona. You can get a Corona, Corona Light, Corona Premium, any kind of Corona you want, John.
Sounds
It'll
good.
Be there. Oh, it's good. We're going to have a good time tonight. A lot of people are going to be showing up, I think.
I'm going to the game, or I would be glad to do that, but I know I have a Beers with Bob showing up in my neck of the woods in a couple weeks.
Yeah, this one
So
is
I'll
in
be
my
ready
neck
for
of the
that.
woods. I'm bummed. You had to schedule it on soccer practice night.
I don't do the scheduling, and you're
now,
an
soccer
idiot.
practice is indoors?
Yeah.
And
I
they just
say
have the
soccer
kids
practice
kicking around?
lightly, yeah.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, it's really fun.
All right, I'm switching up the show sheet today because we have the news has broken.
Isn't news.
They even didn't keep to their 9 a.m. release. The Washington football team was supposed to be a 9 a.m. release of the logo and everything. This got so spoiled and exposed, they just did it early. The Washington Commanders.
Which we all saw last night.
Oh, my gosh.
They're so
They
stupid.
literally put up a sign in the stadium and didn't cover it up. I thought this was a deep fake.
Yeah, we were talking about it this morning. We all thought it was a fake. They couldn't be that stupid, right?
I think they're that stupid.
Oh, Pat, I thought you said you thought it was a...
No, bless John's heart, but I think he was the only one.
Oh, you said you were a mistake. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up.
My parents would confirm that, and it was confirmed when I came out for sure. No, this is par for the course for the Washington franchise. Like, I got something on the website about this. Like, if there was one organization where you would sit back, in sports, by the way, and you'd go, okay, they're going to change their name. And it's going to be ruined because they put up signs in the team store that had massive see-through windows. Who would it be? Everybody would say it's probably Washington.
Okay, here's what I don't get, though. You're having a reveal at 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Could you imagine Coach Eric Camille, if we were announcing something at 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, the lengths that he would go to talk to everybody, to send out emails, to make sure it didn't leak. Washington literally put up the signs in their stadium early. Who put those signs up?
They did.
Employees, right?
Yeah.
Or most of the time when you're doing graphic work or painting, it's not employees of the Washington football team. It's outsiders that you've hired to come in and do it.
Sure.
You mean to tell me you trust these people? Why did it have to be painted in your stadium a day early?
That's what
I saw.
What idiots are they?
I saw a picture 3 weeks ago from a leaked meeting down there, and you could see on the corner of the notepad, "Commanders" was written on it. Like, and I think they even put it out.
No, it was one of the names. It was one of the 5 finalists.
No,
names.
but this was different. This was like I thought it was going to be Commanders for like 2 or 3 weeks now. Another guy released like 2 days ago pictures of the jerseys. He's like, I've had these for a couple days, but
everybody else is leaving.
Now that it's out of the bag, I guess I'll release them. They're just a pathetic organization.
Why would you have it painted the day before?
Like, it couldn't wait a day? You take down all the football team stuff, but just leave. Like, you don't need the signs. You can have the gear in there for all of the 17 fans that are going to bombard your team store that day to get their Taylor Heineke jersey. You can have that. Do you really need the signs painted that before?
I don't get it.
Like, this could have waited a day. No one was clamoring for. No one's going to walk into that team store and go, "Oh my God, there's no Commanders signs. I don't know where I am."
And two, the painting on the signs was in the concourses where fans would not even be going to the team store. Like, it's stuff where no one has to be in the building for a few days. They had to do it early.
The ineptness of this organization is just reaching new levels, right?
They're just stupid.
I mean, you're talking about a nickname for a team, and you couldn't even do that correctly.
You couldn't even wait till 9 o'clock on Wednesday?
And it's not like you threw it together in a week. It's not like you shed the old Redskins and we're changing it over in a week. This has been close to 2 years. I mean, you couldn't hide it.
By the way,
I love it.
I mean, this is crazy to me, this entire story. But let's spin it to a Philly story for a minute. If one of the franchises had to change their name, would you tolerate it? For some reason, people got upset about a team name, and you had to change. One of the names must be changed. Who are we throwing to the Wolves of the top 4?
I think they're all pretty damn good.
Yeah, I like them all. I
hate Philly. I hate Philly.
I knew you were going to say you didn't like Phillies.
I hate it.
I love it.
Why?
I hate the Phillies name.
Why?
I love it.
I just don't like it.
Wow.
Because the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean,
yeah.
And I'm attached to the Phillies.
Say it with your chest.
And I am attached to the Phillies as a franchise. They're second on my pecking order, and very much. There were times in my life where the Phillies were close to the Eagles as far as importance to me. But I hate. I've never liked the name Phillies from a kid. Never liked it.
I'm fine with all of them. I never really gave it much thought.
But if you had to get rid of one of them, then.
If I had to get rid of one of them?
Look. No, the Washington football team having to change. They had to get rid of. The Cleveland Indians were forced to change.
Yeah.
I mean, if they forced you to change one, play along, guys. Play along.
Yeah,
Please play along.
The problem with playing along to your game here, I mean this respectfully too, is there's not a new team. So the Sixers have been around for
67.
And
right?
then you've got the Flyers,
Bob?
67.
Yeah.
When did they rename from
Flyers,
Nationals?
67.
Flyers, 67. The Eagles were 36.
It was Warriors, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was the Warriors, yeah. Nationals, Warriors, Sixers. Eagles, what, 1936? And then the Phillies, 1893.
No. Yeah, I mean, the Phillies, 1883, right?
1883, yeah. So
I'll change the Flyers' name.
The Flyers would probably be the one that I choose because the other three, I think, well, really not the Eagles.
I think Sixers is one of the best names in sports.
Sixers is awesome.
You know,
that's perfect.
That fits the town, and so does the Phillies, I think. The Eagles, because of the fact that it's the NFL franchise here, I don't think you can change that.
No.
The Flyers, I don't. There's
and the
no
Eagles
real...
fight song is too ingrained in all of us.
Yeah,
so
that
Flyers,
Washington fight song was too.
Hail to Flyers would be the one.
Hail
that
to
have
Commanders.
To go.
Yeah,
Hail to DC,
Flyers can go. Philadelphia Commanders for the hockey team.
The Philadelphia Commanders.
Am I the only one that thinks football team was better than Commanders?
Yeah, I like.
I can't go
football team's
team.
terrible.
It became kind of.
They should have changed everybody. The Washington baseball team, the Washington basketball team.
I'm not saying that.
Stupid.
It's better
Yeah,
than
football
Commanders.
team was stupid.
No.
Commanders
Football
sounds,
team's kind of funny.
I don't think Commanders is terrible.
Commanders
I really don't.
sounds like a team in a B-list Keanu Reeves movie where he plays
like
a
the
quarterback.
Replacements.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
what's
I mean.
the-
Like, I hear Commanders and I think Replacements.
What's the
even though they were the Sentinels.
closest thing? Like, what does it get shortened to?
Commandos. We're going Commando.
Like, I mean,
The commies.
well, the thing is, now to me, if I was a local radio station, I'd be like, "We're going Commando" would be like an ad campaign or something that I would use, because then you can't get screwed with Commanders. They can't sue you. They can't do anything. We're going Commando every morning on 97.5 The Fanatic. They can't sue you. They can't do anything because you're not using their name.
Does anyone like a Commander? I don't.
Master and Commander movie sucked.
Yeah, it was real. I didn't like it either. I thought it was boring. So the movie sucks. I think just in general, if you're probably in the armed forces, you probably don't like the Commander.
And a guy, so a guy sends me a note here, and he goes, "It's typical. This is Daniel Snyder's middle finger to the NFL. Say it fast. Say it fast.
Commander.
I don't
get it either.
Is that guy on mushrooms this morning?
He's saying, say it fast 3 times. Commander. It's Daniel Snyder's middle finger.
Command her? Are you going with like you're commanding her?
Oh, Pat.
That's what the emailer must mean. I didn't get that though. He says, say it 3 times fast. This is Daniel Snyder's middle finger to the NFL.
No, Daniel Snyder, I don't think is that intelligent to go that deep with it.
Wait a minute.
I think he's an intelligent guy, but I don't think he's sitting there.
Wait a minute. I had
spinning a web like that.
We suspended belief that Julian Lurie may end up having a bright football mind. I mean, so if Daniel Snyder can absolutely.
Fair point.
Potentially, business-wise. I don't know, though. Now, command her is ridiculous. I don't think that Daniel Snyder was picking it because of
doubling down on sexual
harassment and everything.
But once again, it's kind of par for the course for the Washington football franchise.
This is right. This is really bad, though. Like, I mean, as far as how bad this was, I thought for sure they had punked people because they thought maybe let's distract them from knowing the real name.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a nickname here. That's all. It's silly and it's
it changes for generations, right?
It does, and you have all the marketing aspect that goes along with it, obviously. But the fact that you're trying to make this huge announcement, you can't even do it correctly. And as Jamie said, it was on somebody's notepad 2 weeks ago that you could see.
And you did it. Another one. There's a gentleman saying to me here. He goes, and they did it 37 minutes early. They said it was going to be at 9 a.m.
Well, at that point, it's out. So I don't even have a problem with that.
See, when you tell everybody to tune in at 9 a.m., though, for an announcement, like if we said, hey, big announcement on 97.5 The Fanatic, and people on social media were talking about it before, we would then make the announcement earlier?
Well, here's the thing with that. You got to figure if the announcement was we're changing the Fanatic name and we're making it the 97.5 John Kincaid's. And it was known that was the announcement.
It's
not a good
that.
one. No, it's like Commanders.
Pat,
it's not a good
do not
one.
dismiss that.
And it's known that we're changing the name, and then it leaks out. The people that are listening to the station probably are aware of that.
Okay.
So all of the Washington fans, at that point, they already knew.
God, what a disaster of a franchise.
So weird.
What a terrible business model.
The most simple things they just can't get right.
I mean,
it's horrible.
That's terrible.
I feel bad for your friends that live down there, James. And the stadium is a toilet bowl.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just nothing good about it.
I saw the other day they did Daniel Snyder had a land survey done in D.C.
Yeah, my buddy said the national what the hell's it called? Whatever. It's a natural convention center out on some more land by a casino.
But it might be a spot that they could end up building there. But the old site of RFK reportedly too has been land studied. So with going to a game now though, with public transportation so close by and everything like that, that's a great thing. You got to think about that. You think about that when you're building these stadiums.
Sure.
Hey, Martin Law is the law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. Sixers-Wizards tonight on The Fanatic. No Bradley Beal. Sixers 9.5-point favorites as I look at my Park Sportsbook app. I'm contemplating pulling the trigger because I always love to wager on a game that I'm going to. But 9.5 points to me seems a little rich.
Bet with your head, not with your heart.
Considering what I've seen with the Sixers, 9.5 points seems a little rich, but no Bradley Beal.
I'll probably just stick with the Joel Embiid over tonight.
See, then you're rooting for great performances.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, he's as close to a lock for 30-plus points nowadays as I've ever seen.
They're going to keep adjusting those numbers, though.
Yeah, I think it was up to even 31.5 recently.
I had a 30.5 the other night.
30.5.
And you would have hit it. You would have hit it if you did. So, Pat, by the way, cousin Matt says next. Tell him next time.
It's always next time with me.
He said
I
tell
hear that
him
a lot.
next time.
It's always next time.
Hey, let's go into the mind of Jamie Lynch.
Let's find out what's in Jamie's world.
All right, this is a personal issue. It's a conversation my wife and I had the other day. So I figure what better...
Dr. Avidan Appel need to be involved?
No, not that. I'm good there. Well, not what I heard. But go ahead.
Exactly.
Go on.
Can we get her take on that?
He could make you better.
Uh-huh.
Jamie's like, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
I do like
believe me, I'm fine. I say crown. As you guys know, I pronounce a couple words peculiar.
Incorrectly.
And names.
Incorrectly.
No, crown's right.
Crayon.
Crayon, you're a tryhard.
Crayon.
If you say it crayon, you're a tryhard. That's not even a real
or
word.
you know phonetics.
It's just crown.
Or you know phonetics.
So I say crown. Sometimes I say helicopter.
Helicopter, you say.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Everybody knows what I mean.
Don't worry about it.
So my daughter the other day said crown.
Oh, jeez.
My mother says crown.
We love Eileen. It's you we have a problem.
It got passed down to me. I'm passing it down to my kids.
Really? I got told?
I can't say crayon. I feel like a douche.
You know what I got told? Roll down the window.
That's what makes you feel like a douche?
Roll down the window.
Well, amongst many other things.
I was told to roll down the window. W-I-N-D-A.
That makes me cringe a little bit.
How about a drink of water?
I don't say water.
I don't say water.
I
you know what I found
crown.
out? What I found out is some of the things my parents taught me were incorrect.
You a crownsman?
And
yeah, but I can't say crayon.
Why?
Because
crayon is what
it makes me
everybody
want to gag.
The rest of the world says crayon.
Well, great. I say crown. I don't feel as though I should have to change what I say to my daughter. If she picks up and runs with crown, then so be it.
Then a glass of water. Tell her too. Glass of water.
I don't say that, so I'm not going to force it on her. Just like I don't say crayon. I say crown. And if she says crown, so be it. And I know you're all going to be cowards and side with her.
Bad parenting or what?
There's nothing you can do about the accent that is Philadelphia. And we've all been teased about it. The Sunday, Monday, Tuesday stuff.
I don't do that.
I don't do that.
I don't do use.
No,
I don't do
somebody in my
Jimmy
house.
Lynam, Toodleys.
Somebody in my house does use, and it drives me nuts, although I've never said it before.
See?
Crown is a major violation,
No,
yes.
it's
especially
not.
for a 2-year-old.
Do you know how many people say crowns?
Do you go to library?
Occasionally.
Library?
Library?
You go to
library?
library.
No, I'm not a library guy.
Well,
no.
The one thing is, though, Bob, that I'm going to take issue a little bit, and you and I are on the same, I think, boat on this one, is you can learn how to say things properly. As I've learned, I say a glass of water.
Yeah, crayon.
I know. I don't say, and I said water forever. I said it till I was probably 30 years old. I said window. I learned to say window. I just learned to say it properly. I think you can learn.
Crown to me is proper.
How do you
get crown to C-R-A-Y-O-N?
Crown.
How do you get
just
crown?
all just kind of
Coach? How do you go with this?
Crayon.
It's crayon.
It's such a try-hard, forced
ridiculous
thing.
Coach, you ever go to some extremes with maybe a significant other?
Yeah. So there was somebody that I was dating years ago that she would say birthday.
Ooh.
Birthday and library. And that was it for me. I was out.
Was she attractive?
Yeah.
And you were out because of. She probably didn't go to the library often.
No, and what do you, at Christmas time, you hang something on your front door, correct?
A wreath?
A wreath.
No, it's a reef.
No, it's not.
No, well, you swim in a reef.
Yes.
But she hung a reef on her front door. I didn't know how that was possible.
Okay, that's bad. But she was attractive, and you said out.
Correct, out.
How long did you date her?
Long enough. Yeah, long enough to know better.
How do you say the local football team?
Must be nice.
I don't say Eagles.
No.
I cringe at Eagles.
I think that's an old. I don't say. I've always said Eagles. I think that's an older person.
That was my dad and my uncles who were born in the 20s and the teens said it.
I think my dad said Eagles, but I can't. I mean, he's been gone for 25 years now. I can't remember, but I think he was an Eaglesman.
Is anybody a Cricksman?
A Crick? No, Darby Crick. The Darby Crick.
Creek.
My uncle said Darby Crick.
But what do you say?
Creek. But it was the Darby Crick is what I was told it was called. But again, I learned to speak properly. That's why your excuse for blaming it on your mama, which is terrible, by the way, because Eileen Lynch has a great reputation in this community. You're just trying to aspire to be like her.
Just it's Crown.
How do you say the word OR?
OR? Or?
What's the thing? What's the clementine related to?
Orange.
Orange? A tangerine? What do you
Orange.
Orange.
You say orange, but OR is or. Why isn't it orange?
Is it trying hard
That's a great
to say?
point.
Is it trying hard
it's
to
a
say?
try hard.
No, it's just how it's properly said.
Crayon. It's Crown.
Okay,
Crayon.
Jamie's
It's not hard to say two syllables.
No, it's a stupid word.
Let's be respectful because we are currently in Jamie's world. And
the thing is, he brings us into it, and it's very. It's an odd place.
I'm not going to start saying to my daughter, "Cray, can you pass me the crayon?"
He didn't bring us into it. You opened the door, John, and you
I did.
walked through. So
I
this is
opened up the
really
gates
on
of
you.
hell.
I'm going to call Skylar Skler from now on. How do you like that?
John Kincade
Because it's
just
trying hard.
John walked into another man's house and then started complaining about the furniture. Like, you can't do that, man.
Yeah.
We're in Jamie's world.
We're in Crown world.
As Brett says, tell her to pass you the John instead of the crown.
Well,
so I'm not gonna give up this fight. I'm putting the flag in the hill and I'm standing by Crown.
Wow.
Yeah. So
You guys are very interesting.
Yeah, a little bit about our.
No, I like that, Jamie. It's exactly what I was desiring.
She said Crown the other day to my wife, and she looked at me with like the death stare, and I was like, she said it properly. Nothing wrong here.
Jamie, every battle needs a hero.
No, mom has the ability to teach her what the real word is.
Well, she's an English teacher, and
it's probably driving her nuts.
And I love it.
See, why though? Now, why would you like that?
Because she's squirming over something so stupid.
Tell Addie to go read a dictionary, you nerd.
So if there was
English teacher.
Okay, so if there was another word that she was saying incorrectly that you were bringing to school,
Depends
or
what
whatever.
the word is.
What?
We're talking about crayon. How
What if
often
she-
do you have you
What if she called
crayon?
What if she called a pen
Show a lot, apparently.
a pen
What?
instead of a pen?
Can we get that
Instead
again?
of a pen.
A pen.
You call it a pen.
A pen.
Instead
Excuse
of a
me,
pen.
can I get a pen?
You
Can I
call it
get
a
a
pen.
pen?
And
Did
she
she
was
yell
going
it
to go
like
to
that?
school. You'd be like, honey, it's a pen.
Honestly, no. Addie has no one to blame but herself. She needs to look in the
She
mirror.
married it.
Because not only did she
Well,
marry
that's
it,
crazy.
she's an English teacher. She should be at the forefront. She should be the one teaching the youth how to say words properly. So when they learn the wrong phrase or whatever, or the wrong way to say it, she has no one to blame but herself. She let this monster in her house. She let this monster influence her kids.
Yeah.
You need to look inward, Addie.
When I hear crayon, I cringe.
Wow.
That is weird.
You're crazy.
Cringe.
You're
Weird.
crazy.
Well,
Like,
welcome to
man,
my
you're
world.
crazy.
That is
Wanna be
crazy.
there.
That is it.
Crazy, man.
Jamie's mind is a terrible thing to waste.
I
It
liked
really
it.
is. I like that though.
I like
really,
that battle.
I
don't
really
agree
do
with him.
enjoy that. It's the oddity of it is what makes it so intriguing.
I respect it.
To me. Jamie, just try to come.
Thought-provoking and provocative.
Try to
all
come
at
up with another one for Friday. To send us off
I'm
on a
out
great-
Friday.
Oh yeah, you're out Friday.
Yeah.
So
Way to go,
can-
Jamie.
Yeah,
you
great to
call
go,
into it?
Jamie. No, we don't need it. We're all right there. We're fine. It's very beautiful. There we go.
I'll be flying.
All right. You're
Of
flying
course.
on
Of
Friday.
course he
8:30
is.
flight. Yeah.
Of course, he's on the PJ, the private jet.
Yeah, I wish.
You're flying out of what private airfare?
Yeah. It's called PHL.
He's on the Concorde.
17? There you go. All right, we have plenty coming up for you in the last hour of the show, including where we started today, the strange and winding road that is Ben Simmons. and the story about him. We'll get to it next. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Touch your windows on the next cold day. Do they feel cold inside your house? If they feel cold, they're not supposed to feel that way. If you're walking by your windows and you feel the cold from outside, you're getting a draft. They're not doing their job. That's why Window Nation wants to help. But you're going to say to me, John, money's a little tight after the holidays and everything like that. I can't afford new windows. But you're wrong. You can buy 2 windows and you can get 2 free. That's a great deal in and of itself. But what if I told you you don't have to pay a thing until 2024? You pay nothing for 2 years. No money down, no payments, no interest for 2 full years, and you're getting a whole brand new house of windows. You're absolutely going to love it. You're going to get all the benefits of your heating and cooling bills being less with our friends from Window Nation. An A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and it's not Window Nation, it's Window Nation. So all you do is call 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com and check it out. Do your window shopping online. Pay nothing for 2 full years. You're going to love it. Your house is going to feel greater. Tell them that John Kincade sent you.
The John Kincade Show.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Joel goes down low, fakes, goes in, and jams it. Get out of the way, AD.
Sixers, Wizards. Tonight at 7. Hear all the action right here on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by Corona, proud sponsor of the Philadelphia 76ers.
I hate Steven Singer.
I get that a lot.
You know why?
Why?
Because unless I buy my gifts from Steven Singer Jewelers, my wife isn't satisfied.
So, how can I help you?
Well, how do you get away with advertising real roses you don't throw in the trash in a week?
They're my famous roses, dipped in pure 24-karat gold. They last forever.
Sounds expensive.
They start at just $59. Each one comes in a premium color and is shipped in our signature gift box with a love message from you.
Do I have to water it?
Nope, it's a real rose, and it's preserved in pure gold.
All right. How do I get one?
Easy. Just go to IHateStevenSinger.com.
Shipping.
It's free, and your rose is guaranteed for life.
What if she hates my personal love message?
Just pick one from our online list.
Just click on IHateStevenSinger.com to see the entire collection of real roses dipped in 24-karat gold. No matter how you feel about Steven Singer, she'll love it.
Do you still hate me?
Absolutely.
Get affordable internet that delivers the speed and reliability you need, and get more value when you add Xfinity Mobile. Now, qualifying customers can get Xfinity Internet free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's right. The Affordable Connectivity Program allows Xfinity to provide free high-speed internet to qualifying customers. And Internet Essentials customers can get equipment included at no extra cost. Act now and get this incredible deal on high-speed internet for more streaming, more gaming, more chatting, and more of what you love. Ready for even more value? Ask how to save when you add Xfinity Mobile for as little as $15 a month for 1 gigabyte. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com/free, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Pricing subject to change. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage per line.
So given a choice, I'd rather have a robot butler than a jetpack. But what was my point? Oh yeah, a bunch of the games on the Caesars Sportsbook and Casino app have live dealers and live players. Download it and you can play with real people. And how do we not have jetpacks by now? Where's the future we were promised, people?
Must be 21. Offer valid in New Jersey only for new players. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal?
Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She used that soothing scent to calm you. And her mom used it to calm her. And her mom, well, you get the idea. Vicks Vapor Rub's always been there. It always made you feel better. And today, it still does. Bring back those childhood memories with the comfort and care only Vicks Vapor Rub can bring. Vicks Vapor Rub, family tradition for a reason.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Get in zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
This is your Wendy's wake-up call. Start your day with a better breakfast and get a free drink with any of our morning-making breakfast sandwiches. That's your favorite drink in a Wendy's cup, free. Fresh brewed coffee, free. Diet Coke, free. Vanilla Frosty-Chino, that's cold brew plus Frosty Creamer plus free. So don't sleep on this deal. Get any size drink in a Wendy's cup free when you buy any breakfast sandwich. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's. A la carte only. Offer valid upon request on lowest price qualifying item. Not valid for third-party delivery.
I'm Pablo Torre, host of ESPN Daily, where every morning we present the best sports story of the day. And ESPN Daily is presented by Supercuts. Supercuts is the perfect way to get a haircut if you're someone who doesn't have time for a haircut. You just check in on the Supercuts app or you walk in for a quality cut. The highly trained stylists at Supercuts can always give you that fresh cut feeling fast. And it's not just any haircut, it's Supercuts. Check in now on the Supercuts app or on supercuts.com.
The moment we've been waiting for since September is finally here. In honor of the big game, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? You can experience Super Bowl 56 with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want to. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use that code FANATIC. Get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code FANATIC at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball and Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
This crew always says thanks for listening, and we actually mean it. The John Kincade Show continues here on 97.5 The Fanatic and streaming on the 97.5 The Fanatic app.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
More on the guy that a lot of people say they're tired of talking about, Ben Simmons, coming up here in just a moment. On the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. For details, go to Bagster.com. The Washington Bagsters would probably have been a good name.
That's not bad. That actually probably would have worked.
Because they really, their PR team and everything should be thrown in the dumpster.
They are
in
dumpster.
the Bagster.
My buddies in D.C. are none too pleased.
I like the W logo, though. I really do like the W they came up with. I like.
They said the black uniforms are a disgrace and we look like an AFL team.
It's unbelievable.
Who said that?
My buddy is a season ticket holder.
Oh, wow.
Big season ticket holder for 40-plus years.
What did he want the team to be named?
I think at this point they were fine with football team, honestly.
That's such a bad...
It looks so stupid. Like, if you're looking at the standings and they go by the team's nickname.
Football team.
He should have been.
It's not soccer.
They should have just gone with a soccer WFC, Washington Football Club.
No, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, the Commanders is dumb.
That would have worked too.
Yeah, it's lame.
Shane Falco is going to be quarterbacking the team next year.
It's bad. You got to go with some name.
Should have been holding a clipboard.
I honestly, I loved the idea of the Red Wolves.
I like the Red Wolves a lot.
I thought it was.
That's better.
And the Red Tails, I thought told an amazing story.
Agreed.
I knew nothing about what the Red Tails were, and to me, that was a really interesting thing. And you could also keep your fight song.
It would have meant something, too, if you did Red Tails in Black History Month.
Correct.
You know, like the tie-in was there.
And the Red Tails, I knew nothing about that story.
Really?
No, I did.
I mean, it was a bad movie, but
no, but I did not know.
If you want to watch it.
Yeah, but I didn't know the whole details. I mean, it was excellent. What a great. I think it's a missed opportunity, but the Commander.
That's what Washington does, man. Missed opportunities.
Isn't there a more like a political tie-in they could have used or something?
I think the
diplomats were in it.
Presidents isn't it either.
The governors were in it.
Because everyone's terrified of a diplomat.
The governors were part of. Believe me, I'm terrified by our diplomats and our.
Well,
governors.
everybody is corrupt down there.
Our governors, our senators. I am throw a blanket over all
the Washington corruption.
Absolutely,
the corruption. Yes. That sounds like a good team.
It does.
Look at this. We're spitballing.
Washington Watergates.
Oh no, the corruption's coming to town this weekend.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There you go. Just some numbers for you. Amazing numbers. One of the greatest championship weekend in recent history. Fox and CBS, both huge numbers. The Sunday night game between the Rams and the 49ers, which I don't consider to have been that's like a sexy matchup. It was 4 versus 6 for the NFC Championship. Saw 50.42 million viewers on average for the game. It peaked out at 55.218 million during the fourth quarter. That was the peak. But it averaged 50.4 million viewers for that game, their most since 2014. So a 8-year period. The Cincinnati Bengals Kansas City Chiefs AFC Championship game, which again, I don't consider that a big name, sexy matchup, was the most watched conference title game in 6 years. On their network, the game averaged 47.8 million viewers, peaking at 60.9 million tuning in.
Wow.
During that. Unbelievable. CBS in the NFL playoff games in all 3 rounds surpassed 40 million viewers. First time in the history of television. And considering everybody is streaming too, that's freaking amazing.
Well, that counts, right? Like the Hulu.
The streaming numbers are even different. Are added to we're talking about the people watching it on just traditional television. They surpassed 40 million viewers, CBS, and the NFL playoff games in all 3 rounds. The NFL is more successful than ever. Good. And then you put in all the streaming numbers, it's crazy.
Yeah. Good. In this time of such troubles that we've had over the last few years, anything that's going better and getting better and climbing, I'm all for it.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I think it's a positive thing.
Exactly. It means that people are more comfortable going out, watching it at bars. You know, I met my cousin at a bar on Sunday to watch the first half of the second game for whatever.
Right.
And it was great to just see football people around again. And anytime things are growing now,
it's great.
Good.
Good news. CBS's best number since 2016. Fox's best number since 2014.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's way before COVID even, Bob. I mean, this is great. This is amazing.
Yeah, football's never going to shrink at this point. I mean, it's clear after you see those 6 playoff games that we just went through.
It's unbelievable.
The product is tremendous right now. It's never going to get smaller, even if people tell you with the Kaepernick stuff.
I'm never watching it again.
Yeah, and
kneeling.
Former politicians say the NFL's dying. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, just go watch those 6 playoff games and tell me what's dying. People love it. It's a great product. It's an amazing product.
And you know what works? Cincinnati, Cleveland. I mean, Cincinnati and Cleveland are, like markets like that being huge numbers for them. Cleveland, one of the biggest numbers for the AFC Championship game in a market. And I guess a lot of people maybe have moved from Cincinnati. They're in the same state. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, You're looking about markets that are leading, like that just get huge numbers. New Orleans, when the Saints play this year, almost half the televisions that are on in the state are watching the Saints game.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy town, the NFL, how big it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what else is good? Temple basketball. I love it. And Temple basketball battles Tulsa this Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Leah Corse Center.
I'll be there.
Don't miss a special recognition of Temple's 1991 and 2001 Elite Eight teams at halftime. Visit owlstix.com. I will never get over the Elite Eight team from...
Was that Pepe Sanchez's squad?
2001 was Pepe Sanchez.
Yeah, 2001
right?
was, right?
I don't
Wasn't
think
it?
so. No, because Pepe Sanchez was on the 2001 Sixers, and he was traded from Matumbo.
So he had to be on the 90.
He had just left.
Okay.
He was
We're looking
on the
at,
90.
Lynn Greer.
Whatever.
Lynn Greer squad.
Let's air out our dirty laundry.
Sorry to break this up, but I do have some
Wow.
dirty laundry.
What's
with,
the dirty
and this
laundry?
is topical because it has
Look
to do with
out.
the Temple game.
What's
I
that?
got a text yesterday from our own Bob Cooney,
It was Lynn Greer.
who
Right.
asked, "Hey Pat, are you going to the Temple game on Saturday?" I think I'm planning on going with my daughter and a few friends.
Okay.
And I say, "Oh, I wasn't planning on it, but I could absolutely be convinced. I'll bring my kid. It'll be fun." And then he goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got 4 tickets. But it's my daughter, me, and her 2 friends.
Okay.
So, if you go, let me know."
Now, time out.
And I'm taking it as like an invite by Bob.
No,
like,
no,
hey,
no, no.
Bob, like
He didn't
hey,
invite
Pat,
you
like,
and
do you
your
wanna
son.
go? And it was more of like no, I'm just seeing if you want to, if you're going to be there and hang out. And I just thought that was rude.
I think you're wrong. What I thought was, what I had in my head was that I had heard you said you were going to the game. So once I secured tickets yesterday, I then sent you a text and said, taking Jenna and 2 of her friends to Temple game on Saturday. Are you going by any chance?
I thought that was an invite, and it wasn't.
And you said I wasn't planning on it, but I'd be down to bring
What
Jack.
time did you send that?
At 6:43 last night.
Interesting, Pat, because
got all excited.
I didn't get invited.
I wasn't invited.
And I talked about it yesterday that I was considering going down to that game.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are asses.
Let me look at my text.
I love
I
the
didn't see a text.
No. I thought
I
Pat
didn't
had
get a
already
text.
told me that he was going.
Bob.
That's why I asked once I secured my ticket.
Nah,
I want to
didn't
see
get
Zach
text.
Hicks play.
Bob,
And then he says, I was planning on bringing Jack. And I said, well, how about just Jack and you stay home?
I like
Yeah,
basketball.
Bob, you really stepped in.
it's
it,
okay.
man.
You
And then I
stepped
said,
in a
just
little bit.
kidding. I have 4
All right.
tickets. Never know.
Okay.
If somebody
cool,
backs
Bob.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's all right. That's all
I
right.
said, I love you.
Yeah, there you
Mean
go.
it.
No.
Did
awkward now.
the Ramona Shelburne Ben Simmons story got a lot of reaction yesterday, and it continues to get a lot of reaction here. That it was a highly sympathetic piece. Am I reading it wrong? Because Anthony and Mike, by the way, yesterday, a gentleman saying here backing up, he goes, Anthony and Mike both yesterday afternoon, when they read the pieces, both of them in their descriptions, they're journalists, and they both said that was written with a very sympathetic.
Sympathetic to who? He looks like an idiot.
Yeah, I don't think that's sympathetic at all.
I read it and I said, boy, this is really being written to make you feel that make you understand Ben Simmons.
I read the story knowing exactly who the source was. I'll tell you that.
Sympathy, I think and I'm not going to speak for Mike and Anthony will be in here. We can ask him. I would think that their thinking was sympathy is what Simmons was looking for, not Ramona Shelburne. Ramona Shelburne wrote what was given to her.
Yeah, isn't that weird, though? And ask you about this again, wrote what was given to her. Because this is a story.
Side of the
By the way,
story.
this is a story that has been, for 2 weeks, they've been looking for. They peddled this story.
You keep saying that.
No, but
Like,
I'm saying
how do you know for 2 weeks
because they were reaching out. He wanted to have a story out.
Right.
Clutch Sports had peddled a story. They even talked about it the other night on NBA on TNT. That Clutch was out there peddling a story to try to get his point of view out there.
Ramona Shelburne has been writing every stitch of this piece with Ben Simmons and the Sixers this offseason.
She's been the person.
Yeah, they wanted
of
to
LA,
get
I guess.
They wanted to get sympathy. They gave this to her saying, hey, we have a story for you. They gave this to her. I don't know what her feelings were when she got it. It could have very well been, my God, these guys are idiots. But it was a story they told her. It's her obligation as a journalist covering this story to write it. I don't think she's looking for sympathy. I don't think she put any slant on it. If you look at almost every graph that she writes, it says, according to sources. She didn't put her own feelings into this. This was a story that they decided to tell. She made some calls to the Sixers. The Sixers were quoted anonymously on it. I have no problem with the piece.
I don't even know how much she, quote, peddled it, because this is
No, she didn't.
No, I'm saying they I missaid. I don't know how much they peddled it, because this is Ramona Shelburne we're talking about, who works for ESPN, who have been nicknamed ESPNBA. You know, this isn't somebody that writes for a blog. I mean, they probably went to her, second after Woj? And Woj might have said, well, Ramona's been on it the entire time. So it's not like they had to go around that much. And I also want to thank Ramona, because she kind of mentioned the station in the piece.
I like
it. So shout out to Ramona. I'm Team Ramona on this.
When I read Ramona, I love Ramona Shelburne's work. And I watch her on Malika Andrews' show in the afternoon. I still don't know the name of it. But I watch her when she's on they bring her in studio on that show.
When Clutch and Ben's Inner Circle are formulating that this is what we're going to give Ramona, who do they think they're speaking to?
Yeah.
How did they think this is garnering sympathy for him? If anything, he looks like a giant man baby.
I think this looks really bad, and I think it hurts the Sixers.
Well, they've been hurt since last June when he asked out.
But
at
I think
Chicago
it's worse.
Combine.
Because who wants to bring this guy into their locker room?
I don't know if it can get worse. Hey, the man faked a COVID exposure in Game 7 of the playoffs.
And that's still alleged, right?
It's been reported by some credible people.
I had a source that gave it to me long before it came out. There's legs there.
I don't know how much worse you can get than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think the Sixers were going to take an L on this from the start. Is it getting worse? Maybe slightly, but I still think it's been bad from the jump.
It's just ugly.
The
jump doesn't exist anymore. They got rid of the jump.
But
still found that an odd name with Windhorst on the show.
I'll never, I don't think, despise of an athlete more.
Oh, he's terrible.
Than what Ben Simmons has pulled this last year.
He's terrible.
Because if he's using the mental health crutch, that's really offensive to everybody that actually struggles with mental health. Being unhappy in a place and being afraid of being booed does not equate to poor mental health necessarily.
I thought it was also telling too in the piece that he was exposed playing a pickup basketball game from a former Temple player that had 3,000 people, and it was in a story that disappears within 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't a big thing that's getting out, a tweet going viral. This is simply, hey, look who's here at the gym. And he is so fragile at this point that he just is like, all right, I got to pack up and leave.
Yeah, how is there somebody in his camp that doesn't say, you know what, dude, it might not be a bad thing if it's out there that you're working out?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Every time I see a piece about him, whether it's Ramona Shelburne or whoever, anytime I see a piece out there about Ben Simmons and I get done reading it, I say, who in the hell signed off on this? Now, look, they fed Ramona Shelburne what they fed her and what she ran with. She didn't editorialize it at all. She didn't put her own opinion in there. That's as factually based as you can get, and it makes them look dumber than dumb. It just does.
If somebody calls you, Bob, and says, Joel Embiid says, I want to tell a story, and he wanted to tell a story, just to tell a story for you, and you realize you're listening to it, and you're going, this is just crazy town. It's an obligation to write it?
Sure. I mean, if Joel Embiid's calling me to tell me what his favorite ice cream was when he was a 10-year-old kid, I mean, that's the discretion I'll take of
Rocky Road.
Okay, great. Yeah. This is a story. Look, they wanted to come out and make a statement on a situation that is one of the oddest that the NBA has ever seen. So it's almost any scrap you would get on a story like this you're going to run with. This wasn't a scrap. This was a side deciding, all right, we want to talk to you and we want to tell you exactly what's been going on. Hell yeah, you're going to run with that. And I thought she did a fine job. She did a fine job in that she didn't, like I said, it wasn't any opinion of her. It was everything according to sources, what they told her. She has quotes in there from their side. I thought it was fine. Look, the context of the story is bat bleep crazy. But this isn't.
It is.
By the way, before we get to Jason, just broke Tom Pelissaro, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, undergoing surgery on his ankle today, per sources.
Wow.
That's his second or third ankle surgery.
At least second.
Yeah, I think he had 2 in college. I'm not sure. I know he had 1.
He should be fully recovered by the start of OTAs, he says.
All right, the Flyers have a 2-game winning streak. What the puck? Jason Martinez, a 2-game winning streak.
What the puck is right?
I mean,
what's
seriously.
going on all of a sudden? They're winners now.
So they're trying to screw up the what are they trying to screw it up? I did appreciate them beating the Atlanta Thrashers last night, though.
The former Thrashers.
I was very happy for that they beat the Thrashers last night.
Yeah, that's your old squad there.
Made me happy. I can't stand them. I wish nothing but bad things on Winnipeg.
So that hate traveled to lonely old Winnipeg?
Oh, it has. Yeah, it really did. It was terrible.
You are one victim.
Absolutely. You haven't figured that out? I mean, seriously, that's not the news thing.
At your age, it would start to fade,
it might actually be improving with age, like wine. So what do you make of it? I mean, is this? Do you see? I don't see discernible better play. Except Carter Hart was spectacular last night.
No, they did play better last night. They gave up the goal 48 seconds into the game to a guy that you don't lose track of. He's got 25 goals in 42 games. That'd be kind of Kyle Connor, a perennial 30-goal scorer. But no, I think after that they defended pretty well in the game. They just never gave up anything inside. And then in the second period, when they did get good opportunities, Hart did what he's supposed to do. And I think some people look at it, John, sometimes when they watch hockey and they say, well, man, the Flyers really sucked in that period. They weren't ready to play. Well, that's just momentum in sport. And that's why you have a goalie, that when you don't have momentum, the other team grabs it. He can mitigate the damage that's done by making spectacular saves, and he did last night. The Flyers, if you look on my Twitter, there's kind of a heat map there, scoring chances. And I can tell you that their heat map didn't look like that all year long because all the scoring chances came inside for the Flyers. They really... I mean, the expected goals in the game was 6 for the Flyers, and they only scored 2, 1 empty netter. But if you played like that more often, we wouldn't be in this position. But I don't know that they're capable of playing like that consistently. That's the problem.
Do you think they can screw this up, like with the draft pick and everything? Could they get on a run? Could they do anything like that screws this up or not?
I mean, they're not going to be a team that's going to be in the top 3 worst teams in the league anyway because they just didn't get off to a start that allows that. When you look at a team, the worst teams in the league, Montreal, like they were hideous from the beginning of the season. The Flyers have been hideous since about game 18, so they're behind in being hideous all the way through. So, but no, they're not a team that's going to go on a run. They're not going to start winning 6 of 10 or 7 of 10 games points percentage wise. They're just not built that way. Plus, I think the other part of it is pieces are going to be going away, not adding to this team to help it. And look at the numbers when Giroux's on the ice versus Giroux off the ice. It's basically an NHL team on the ice and an AHL team off, when he's not out there. So, and I don't think that he's going to remain. He's 15 games away from 1,000. He's going to his 7th All-Star game. He played his 700th game as the captain last night. And in that period of time, the 6th most points in the league, has missed 10 games, 5 of which for asymptomatic COVID. And he's played the 3rd most games in the league since he's been named the captain. But he's not going to see 1,000th game as a Flyer, I don't think. He's going to be traded prior to that.
So much going on in the world of sports today. Sorry to cut it short, but 2-game win streak. It was still fun.
Look, my advice to people, it just feels good to win.
It does. It really does, yeah.
Yeah, just enjoy it as a win. It doesn't mean anything this season, but, it just feels good to win. No doubt about it. And Ben Simmons, I mean, this whole thing is so absurd. Just wanted to say that.
Let's get him out of town.
Yeah, send him away.
There we go. Good job.
Send
Thanks,
the clowns.
Thank you, buddy. The clowns are already in. Hey, remember, if you have a listener suggestion segment, we're going to start them on Monday, and we've already got a ton of responses to this. You go to myjkshowsegment@gmail.com. Send us in your ideas. myjkshowsegment@gmail.com. I wonder if someone will say, teach your kid to pronounce things properly. Will be a segment idea from someone. You never know. So go to myjkshowsegment@gmail.com to get in on the action. The Washington Commanders is getting panned. Can you imagine being the person who chose the team that came up with Commanders and here everyone's going to be excited about the choice? Or do you just expect that the public's going to come out and poop on it when they announce it.
It's poop again.
Yeah, it's probably poop again.
I mean, like whatever name they would have come with, people were going to trash.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Triumph.
It's new. It always sounds weird. I'm glad somebody got my Triumph reference.
Oh, I love Triumph.
Or me too. Poop.
I had Olivia watching Triumph this weekend. She'd never seen Triumph.
Oh, he's the best.
It was also, we watched the Michael Jackson trial one, which is one
the Star Wars one.
The Star Wars one, we watched that. The Michael Jackson trial one was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional if you haven't seen it. Coming up, Vegas really believes in the Sixers. How much? Well, let's just say it's changed drastically in just a matter of 3 weeks. It's the John Kincade Show. We got Cuz Radio coming up at the top of the hour here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The big game's finally here, and PropSwap has hundreds of tickets listed at the best odds. On PropSwap, you can buy and sell sports bets while sitting on your couch. And bettors from across the country are cashing in on their championship futures. Right now, take Jamie from New York. Not me. Wish I was this guy. He sold his $100 25-1 Cincinnati championship ticket for $1,000. The buyer, well, they got great odds, and Jamie made 10 times his money. Again, not me. Wish it was. To find the best odds, join the real sports bettors and download the free PropSwap app now. They've also got tickets on the game's MVP, player to score the first touchdown, who's going to win the game, and much more. Last year, PropSwappers cashed in big when Brady took home the MVP trophy. So to find the best odds, join the real sports bettors and download the free PropSwap app now. PropSwap is where America buys and sells sports bets.
The John Kincade Show.
Oh, I don't think I'm a lot dumber than you thought that I thought I was once.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia celebrates Black History Month, highlighting remarkable accomplishments and achievements of African-American Philadelphians.
Bernard Hopkins, born and raised in Philadelphia, went on to be the undisputed middleweight champ and later became the light heavyweight champion. 2001 Fighter of the Year after he knocked out the previously undefeated Felix Tito Trinidad. When B-Hop beat Gene Pascal for the light heavyweight title, he became the oldest world champion in boxing history. At the age of 46, he finished with a record 55-8-2.
Black History Month, proudly supported by 97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia.
Hi, this is Taylor Morgan. Years ago, I made a decision that would change my life forever. I attended the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do, but radio and TV sounded like fun. Well, it turned into a career that has lasted more than 30 years and has given me opportunities that I never would have dreamed possible, like broadcasting from the Olympics in Nagano, Japan. And it all started at Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which is now CSB Media Arts Center, with classes not only in radio and TV, but video production, podcasting, editing, all that is media. The hands-on training from broadcast professionals whose entire mission is to get you career ready, plus the job placement assistance, is priceless. And it all happens in 8 or 16 weeks. Train on site or online. There's a campus in nearby Cherry Hill, and they're VA approved. CSB Media Arts Center. Get your start. Visit gocsb.com.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
The 2005 Texas Longhorns began the season ranked number 2 and stayed there all season. Their defense allowed only 16 points per game, while their Vince Young-led offense averaged 50. The Longhorns went on to face USC in the BCS National Championship game against top-ranked USC, winning 41-38 in what many consider one of the greatest college football games ever played.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Teams that win college bowls have great recruits, and great recruiting starts with great conversations. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people faster. Go to linkedin.com/sports to post your job for free. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Relationships run hot and cold. No matter how hard you try to compromise, sometimes things are just out of your control, like the TV remote and the thermostat. Fortunately, your independent Delaware Valley trained comfort specialist can provide you with a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system with whole-house air filtration, so you'll always have even, consistent heat throughout your home, along with cleaner, healthier air. You'll save money and maybe even your relationship. Visit train.com to find a Delaware Valley Independent Train Comfort Specialist near you. It's hard to stop a train.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Now through February 2nd, join a clean and spacious Planet Fitness for zero enrollment and only $10 a month. With tons of equipment and free fitness training, it's the perfect place for everybody to work out.
Even me, mother of very fussy triplets and one very colicky husband.
Especially you, Supermom. You'll release endorphins and have more energy.
I remember having energy.
Start feeling fit-tacular today. Join in club or at planetfitness.com. Zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends February 2nd. See club for details.
Looking for a checking account that's built for you? Whether you love earning cash back or don't want fees or a minimum balance requirement, Citadel Credit Union has you covered. Plus, get a $300 bonus. Easily deposit checks right from your phone. Receive instant account alerts to stay updated. And simply tap and go with your contactless debit card. For a limited time, get $300 when you open a new checking account at citadelbanking.com/radio. Citadel Credit Union. Building strength together. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Big games, big parties. Remember, it isn't just football, it's an experience. Don't settle for an average catering tray. Make it primo. Order in advance, online, primohoagies.com. Remember what I say, not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey.
FanDuel Sportsbook, in partnership with Valley Forge, is an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. And to celebrate, new customers can bet $5 to win $280 in cash on either team to win when you register using promo code Bob. And you'll get your winnings in cold, hard cash because we know cash is always better than free bets. Sometimes it's even better than Venmo, right, Pat Egan? Anyway, who do you like this weekend? Or next weekend, I'm sorry. LA's -4.5. I'm looking at that. I also love the over-under on Cooper Kupp. You might want to go over-unders on Matthew Stafford, on Joe Burrow, their passing yardages. You know how the Super Bowl works. There's plenty of bets you can go on, and there's no better place to bet Super Bowl 56 than on FanDuel Sportsbook. Turn $5 into $280 in cash. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use promo code Bob to make every moment more this Super Bowl. That's promo code Bob exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $280. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
We are no longer new and different. We're just different. The John Kincade Show returns
on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
If you're on public transit, be sure to look up and speak up. See something suspicious? You can report it by texting GO1776, calling pound 1776, or the Look Up, Speak Up app. Make sure you are aware of your surroundings. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. The latest now on the Brian Flores lawsuit. Hugh Jackson, the former coach of the Browns. Coach Hugh Jackson commented on Twitter and said that when he was the Browns coach, that Jimmy Haslam, the owner, was happy while we kept losing. And someone said to him, he wasn't offering you $100,000 a loss. And he said, trust me, it was a good number. So now Hugh Jackson is trying to say after he went 1-31 as the Browns coach that I guess he was being paid to lose. They're going to need better. They need better people to line up in this lawsuit.
I wish I knew that they were trying to lose because I could have sold some tickets on PropSwap. The big game's here, and prop swappers are cashing in. Find the best odds on PropSwap when you buy directly from other bettors. Download the free app today.
It's a big part of the story, isn't it? If the executive director of Hugh Jackson's foundation said they have records that will support Flores' case because they can prove that they were paid bonus money to tank, that they lost on purpose, and that they can prove that they were paid bonus money in the 2016 and 2017 seasons in Cleveland, and that would support the case that Brian Flores is saying that he was being offered to lose. What I would say to Hugh Jackson, and I'm just trying to be objective about this because it's been hearsay to this point. I would say, so you literally took extra money to lose games? Am I supposed to look at you as like, good job, Hugh, for speaking up? Am I supposed to look up now and go, Hugh Jackson, let me applaud you for having the bravery to speak up now?
They lost because he chose to lose.
But isn't this an entirely different issue than...
Well, it's about gambling, though, as what you brought up.
But
doesn't this
affect the racism case? Like, yeah, I don't know how this
ties
unless they're
in.
trying to pin losses on black coaches. I mean, if an owner wants to pay his coach to lose,
and if you took the money and kept your mouth shut till 2022 about it, I don't want to hear from you.
But I don't know what this has to do with Brian Flores' case
because
in the hiring
Flores is
process.
saying Flores is saying that he was offered $100,000 a loss.
I'm aware
so
of that.
I think that.
But what does that have to do with the racist lawsuit he's bringing about?
Well, I think he's trying to say that he was unfairly fired in Miami. That he's trying to say that he was unfairly fired in Miami. Something wasn't right there.
But if he didn't take the money and didn't try to lose, then he wasn't.
And now another one of the Miami writers for the Dolphins saying, putting out there that still no comment from any of Flores' players since the date of his firing.
I got a couple of people that got in touch with me saying if you look on Twitter, there were players that came out and said in support of Flores before when he was fired.
There were people that say in support. If you go read the deep dive from the Miami Herald on the Flores firing, you find out there was a lot of reasons they wanted him gone. I mean, there was a lot of reasons of problems in the building and problems in stuff like that worked against him. What I was surprised at was what Adam Schefter said today, that Adam's saying he's really in the mix for 2 jobs.
Yeah. Maybe he knows, though. Maybe he knows he's not going to get him. I mean, this is a guy that was basically told by Bill Belichick before he even interviewed for the Giants job, they have their guy, and it's not you. Inadvertently.
But
right now, we sit there and we go, he's a finalist, but in his mind, he might be going, no, I'm already screwed.
See, now the thing was, though, wasn't it being put out there that in Houston, he was the guy that could keep Deshaun Watson in Houston?
I remember when his name came up, immediately those two were tied, yeah.
That Deshaun Watson would stay potentially if Brian Flores was the coach. So I would have to think that's a legitimate thing that you're still in the mix for that job.
Yeah. You know? It might be. But that organization is arguably as big of a dumpster fire as Washington. I mean, if there's one guy that has a case to join this lawsuit, it'd be David Culley. I still can't get over the fact that we talk about this all the time. There's 32 NFL head coaching jobs. 32. It's one of the most coveted jobs in the world. And Houston hired David Culley with the thought of, this could probably only last 1 year. They hired him as a lame duck coach. You know, it's like the Herman Boone story of Remember the Titans of like, we're hiring you, and if you don't win out, we're firing you. And he got the most out of that job. We all said it. Like, he couldn't have done a better job with the team he had, and they still fired him. That's a joke.
If other coaches don't line up to join Brian Flores' lawsuit, and I mean other coaches that are involved in the game, is it then going to take the teeth out of it, Bob? I mean, we're not lawyers, but if someone doesn't come forward to say, I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with Brian Flores, does this thing just fizzle out? Because the Bill Belichick, Mike Florio is an attorney, and the Bill Belichick texts are not going to mean a thing. Because Bill Belichick doesn't speak for the Giants. It's just a smoking gun to some of the good old boy network is what they're saying.
And you brought up before, in a court of law, that's not going to hold up. But that it's telling. It is telling. It's out there.
It speaks to the culture, they're saying.
Yeah. Does Flores, can he stand on his own on this? It depends on all the things that he's alluding to, whether they can come to fruition or not. Would you like to see more people get arm in arm with him? Sure. There's a problem in the NFL with this. We all know it. He took, as Shefty said, a bold stance to throw it out there while he's in the mix to get another job. But again, it's going to be difficult. Like in Eric Bieniemy, can he come out and say something and not lose his job, in the league?
If every African American coach today put their name on that lawsuit, every active coordinator, coach, put their name on it. Position coach, coordinator, whatever, put their name on that. There couldn't be mass retribution.
Well, it'd have to be a completely unified front.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would be retribution.
And I think that
because if Eric Bieniemy came out and said, I stand with them, he could get fired. He'd probably fears for his career at that point if it goes nowhere.
Do you think if he got fired, if Eric Bieniemy got fired?
Not fired, but he might not advance anymore.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that does this, like, I wonder who's going to stand with Brian Flores on this, or do they not consider him?
I'd be shocked if any current guys did.
Anyone? Like any
I'd be surprised. I hope somebody does.
Like, what if Mike Tomlin did? Mike Tomlin
carries a lot.
By the way, Mike Tomlin has spoken. Mike Tomlin has spoken on documented cases over and over about the lack of NFL on hiring practices and how proud he is of the Rooney Rule. But he has pointed out over the years of processes that he's heard of his peers being involved in that were dog and pony shows, as he sort of depicts.
Well, if you remember, the one story I had in Takes a couple weeks ago was about how Sean Payton almost got traded to the Cowboys, and it was a back alley deal where it was like, all right, we're going to fire Jason Garrett, we're going to do an interview that was a fake interview for the Rooney Rule, and then we're going to trade for Sean Payton. And I think a lot of the candidates feel like most of the time when they're brought in, like Deuce Staley interviewed for a head coaching job that everybody knew he wasn't going to get, but it was the Rooney Rule. And I think that's a problem when you have these coaches interviewing and they know that it's a lame duck interview.
Can you tell someone who they need to hire?
No.
Can you mandate that you own a $4 billion corporation? Like if you're the Denver Broncos right now, that's just a number we're throwing out there because can you demand that, well, you need to hire an African-American man to run your organization?
No. You can't.
You can't.
And the Rooney Rule, a lot of people have a problem with it because, as you say, sometimes it's a...
Because it can be exploited?
Yeah. But my feeling of it was, at the beginning, well, the more people you listen to, the better you know. So maybe I didn't have somebody on my radar if I'm one of these old boy network guys. And then I bring in a black guy to interview for the job, and he just totally wows me.
Like Mike Tomlin did.
Exactly. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, that's a great thing. It's such a weird situation. Yes. Do you want to hire the best person for your job, for your candidacy of a coach? Yes. But you need to talk to people of all different types in order to find that person. Yeah. And I think the Rooney Rule, that's what it's looking to try to do.
I think if this turns out to be, if there is an email trail or otherwise, that the Giants legitimately had Brian Daboll already agreed to and brought him in for an interview, I hope the Giants, because that would be a Giants move. It doesn't reflect on the Eagles. It reflects on the Giants. If they did this to him, then I believe they deserve to be smacked down. But if there was no agreement in place, if Brian Daboll's like, when he's under oath, goes, no, I was in the mix. We had discussed some things, but I did not have a job. I did not have a name on the dotted line. I don't know how any of this is going to hold water.
I mean, I don't think it will, but I think it's also naive to think that this doesn't happen.
No, I believe
No. But I think it's going to be really tough to prove. And
I do believe it happens. I believe I believe it happens all the time.
I mean, just look at the amount of black head coaches in the league. It's non-existent. Josh McDaniels, who was a bad head coach, who took a job. He took a job in Indianapolis and then walked out of that. He gets hired, and Eric Bieniemy can't even get an interview.
Remember, he lost his job. Josh McDaniels got fired in Denver for a cheating scandal. He did exactly. He cheated.
Yeah,
and they was
he gets fired
videotaping,
again.
and he got fired for that. And he's getting hired again. I'd never hire you. I wouldn't hire him in a second.
I think the only thing that's ever going to make real change with this is a minority ownership group.
Yep.
I think you need somebody on the inside that 32-person circle that can either expose, confirm, deny what goes on. Because as we all said, I don't think it's hard to prove unless there's a paper trail, but we all know it exists. So to me, if I was the NFL, if I was Roger Goodell and the Denver Broncos are currently for sale, I would think long and hard about trying to come up with a minority ownership group that was really heavily considered.
But how do you do that?
I mean, you just have to consider them.
You can't. Because the NFL doesn't own the franchise. The franchise is owned by so Jeffrey Lurie decides to sell the Eagles.
I would push them to the front of the pile. It's like nepotism. Stephen Jones and Julian Lurie are getting there. You got pushed to the front of the pile. Roger Goodell could say, I really want you to consider this group. I think they're a great group. I think they bring a lot of assets to the table.
Are they the best offer for me?
Well, that's up for the Bowl. What is it? The Bowles? What's the family that owns the Broncos?
I'm blanking. Whatever.
The Mannings.
But it's like I can't. I'm saying at that point.
I mean, money talks, right?
If the best offer is that African American ownership group or minority ownership group, I'm in
to the front of the line.
But don't tell me who to sell.
They're not going to get it undervalued.
Well, don't tell me who to sell my team to.
The NFL.
I own my team.
But if it's 4.1 and the minority ownership group offers 4.2.
No, that's different. Oh, no, that's different.
Yeah, I think it's time.
The NFL could also look at the group that is ready to buy the Broncos and say, we're going to allow this, but we would really like it if you included a minority in the ownership group.
So they
like your buddy Shaq. I mean, he's got enough money, right? I don't know if he wants to own a team or not.
Well, he owned part of the Sacramento Kings. He just had to get rid of it.
Take somebody that example, and you could say, hey, we have a guy here. He can step in. He's got.
So I'm requiring you to go into partnership with someone you maybe don't know.
Not requiring. Give it a real consideration.
Strongly pushing. I mean,
what if I don't need it?
I mean, Magic Johnson was.
I got.
Well, then the Good Old Boy Network continues and continues. There's a reason.
Well, why does it mean it's Good Old Boy Network? What if you're a very good person and you just want to buy an NFL team and you don't have a racist bone in your body?
It's been happening for 100 years.
Well, then you have a chance to open a door that hasn't been opened in a long time.
If you got nothing to hide,
I will tell you the amount of teams that have a minority ownership representative is like Warwick Dunn is in with the Falcons. I think Warwick owns 1% of the Falcons.
Well, yeah, we're talking about the real heads.
But he also though has a position where he is community outreach vice president type of thing. So he's involved in a lot of those kind of things. I just think it's a slippery slope of what can you mandate?
It is, but to your point of what if they're a great person and all that? I guarantee if you ask every one of those owners, you think you're a good person? You think you're a racist? They're going to be like, yeah, I'm a great person. And no, I'm not a racist, but they won't hire a minority for a head coach. That's a problem. Like when you're hiring Josh McDaniels and all of his faults.
Well, I wouldn't hire Josh McDaniels for nothing.
You won't even interview.
But I think this is bad for Brian Dable. Because Brian Dable is a very accomplished guy. He's fought for his opportunity to finally get a shot. And I think it's bad because this is always going to reflect on him. This is going to reflect on him.
He didn't do anything, though.
Yeah,
I know, but it will. He's going to be associated with this story forever.
I think the Giants will be. I don't know how much it'll be. Yeah, I don't know how much it would go on him. He didn't do anything wrong.
Hey, your local P.J. Willehands has college and pro hoops heating up. So grab your friends. Watch the game Saturday at PJ's. $3 16-ounce drafts. Sundays at PJ's, $3.50 22-ounce drafts. Bob Cooney loves basketball. He loves PJs.
We're just giving it
away. And he
away.
loves beer.
Sure.
Hey, combine it with famous PJ's Wings and Burgers. There's absolutely nothing better. By the way, the Sixers note that I teased for you. After last year's NBA Finals were completed, you know how they put out the championship odds? The Philadelphia 76ers were listed as soon as the championship was completed. the Sixers were listed as 14-1 to win the NBA title. By Halloween of this past year, the Sixers had went to 22-1. By Christmas week, the Sixers were 25-1. The Sixers are back to 14-1. Biggest move in the NBA since January 1st to win the championship. They are now back in the 6 top title contenders list without Ben Simmons. Anthony Gargano is in studio with us. What does that say to you? That that last year, while Ben Simmons was still here, the day after the NBA Finals, Vegas listed the Sixers as 14-1 to win the title. They went all the way to 25-1 and over a series of time. They're back to 14-1.
Well, I think people have noticed through Embiid's play that when you have an MVP candidate and you have, that kind of greatness, that you got a chance. Again, that whole we were kids. Moses drug 4 guys to the finals with the Rockets.
Yeah,
right? They beat the Lakers.
That was such a bad Rockets team.
It was Moses and 4 dudes, and that's what that team. Which, by the way, the Sixers lost the 3-1 lead to Boston that year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But that was I always remember that being he drugged those guys. Look what AI did. Talk about dragging a bunch of dudes, like hard-working defensive guys, but AI drug a bunch of dudes to the finals.
LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah.
LeBron in Cleveland.
First time.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
I still think that's LeBron's greatest accomplishment.
Yes.
Was that team going to the finals?
Yeah. So I think that's what you say. I think people, you buy into Embiid as a chance. And who knows, Brooklyn, again, we talk about it. Brooklyn could implode. Milwaukee, the champs are the champs, but, they're not unbeatable.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're not unbeatable.
When they have their big three, they're like 19-4, though. You know what I mean?
I know.
They just need more help.
And again,
I can't have Furkan Korkmaz playing 25 minutes of a playoff game.
He's going to get a point guard. He's going to get a point guard.
I hope.
By the way, crayon, that's a bad word?
It's a try hard.
He says it's a douche word, which is ridiculous.
I feel like
syllable word.
I feel like an absolute douche when I say crayon.
Because you were taught
I heard
wrong.
you say that. I'm going, I don't understand that.
It's crown.
Crown. What do you call something on someone's head?
A crown.
See, Skylar's going to be in school one day, and the fourth grade teacher's going to say, all the girls, I want you to bring in crowns tomorrow because we're going to play princesses and kings. And his daughter's going to come in with a blue one on top of her head.
That's what they do in school now?
crayon.
I don't think that's a realistic situation.
I think it is.
I don't.
But listen, Eagles, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Crick.
Right, creek, whatever. Crown and crayon
are not even the same.
How do you even get
There's
crown
plenty
out
of me
crayon?
out there. I have representation. People are siding with me right now.
Do you know what he calls that thing that flies that goes like this?
A helicopter.
Yeah, but he calls it a helipad where they land. He's an idiot, Ant. Don't even try to figure him out.
Wow, that's a bit harsh.
Bob going off the top rope.
You call it, 30% of voters
mic
say
was
crown.
on,
You just
Bob.
called 30% of our listeners idiots.
Wait a minute. 30% of our listeners do not say crown.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's
science.
absurd.
We did a poll.
I don't believe you.
Oh, my gosh.
I love Bat.
Team Crown.
Team Bro all the way.
Yeah, Team Crown.
Talk about some strange bedfellows.
How about one game out of the top seed in the East?
I'm a Crownsman, Bob.
Yeah,
I'm going down tonight. I cannot wait.
Say that. It's good,
it is going to be fun in Washington.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's good. This is a fun.
No Beal.
This is fun to watch.
That's a win.
Park Sportsbook app tells me 9.5. Seems rich.
Bob was
Seems
smart
rich.
when he said, maybe taking Embiid over.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, Mr. Crayon.
Yes,
smart.
Mr. Crown.
You can crown me after the game, Joel.
Have you ever gone to the who makes the crayons again?
Crayola.
What are they called?
No, he would call them Crayola.
No, they're Crayola crowns.
Why would that be?
That's so weird.
Because crayon sounds like a douche.
But Crayola, you say Crayola.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
That's their company name.
I'm just gonna start calling Skylar is now Skler to me.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yep.
It's bizarre.
It's Crown.
Skler.
It's bizarre. I'm thinking that maybe one day Mrs. Lynch, a little distracted, the baby's dropped, and Jamie gets this PTSD for these words.
She says it too.
Something.
I learned it from her.
It's unbelievable.
It's a crown.
Well, I learned Wooder and
Right,
Winda
well, that's
and
different.
Winda.
That's an accent.
Yeah, but and then
Crayon
I
is not an accent.
fixed it.
Yeah, crayon's just a douchey way to say it.
It's unbelievable.
It's correct. Correct is
It's
never
the correct
douchey.
way
Correct
to
to
say
who?
it. Normal people.
Yo, you said window. Like I get it.
I said window and water.
My grandmother she would say parlor, but instead of the parlor.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, like parlor.
Where you walk into the house?
Yes.
The parlor, yeah.
Go
The
into
parlor?
Hey,
And
go
my
into the
father.
parlor.
Did
Right?
Icebox? Was Icebox big?
No.
Not in a bad.
Little Giants,
yeah,
I
saying
suppose?
it weird.
What
but
would it be? What is when you walk into a house? There was a word that they used in the foyer.
yeah,
have a foyer?
that was the parlor.
A foyer.
The
That's
foyer.
what crayon is to me. Foyer.
Well, you
It's
don't
a
say foyer. You say foyer.
It's foyer.
There you go.
It's not foyer.
It's a bizarre world.
Crayon.
You want more of this kind of riveting conversation?
All right, bro.
Cuz Radio is coming your way next. Don't miss it.
We're gonna watch a little basketball.
We will be with you tomorrow. An unforeseen side effect of the Brian Flores lawsuit, plus the veteran buyout market for the Sixers. We might go shopping. It's the John Kincade Show. Join us tomorrow at 6. We'll see you then. Cuz Radio comes your way next.
The John Kincade Show
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing.
on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
This week's Pro to Watch is brought to you by Bradford White. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best. Sixers center Joel Embiid regains the spotlight this week as he continues to post monster MVP numbers. In the last 10 games, Embiid is averaging 32 minutes and just over 35 points per game. In that 10-game stretch, Embiid had 8 double-doubles.